A good evening, more importantly, a happy new year to you lovely lot in the chat. Ready? I've not got the chat open, by the way. As a tradition, I don't open the chat until the lineups have been revealed. Now, this is the point in the proceedings where I'd normally make up a lie about Gio. I'd probably normally tell you that he was at a Girls Aloud concert, or he was a Boys Own reunion thing, or a One Direction tribute act. It would normally be something like that. I don't know, a scone making classes or something like that. Unfortunately, I can't tell you any of that stuff because he's rumbled himself by doing a video. I don't know why I'm not focusing. By doing a video, stood by a lock. Not his chosen lock, the lock round the corner, not Loch Lomond. Anyway, we learned a lot about that, didn't we? Let's be perfectly honest. So he's not here because he's having a little sort of festive hollybobs up in the motherland, so to speak. So you're stuck with me. What I don't do ever is look at the chat because I like to get my instant reactions to the starting lineup. So we're going to do that in just a minute, probably about 2 minutes. The official starting lineups will be revealed. Now, I am fully aware that you lot know exactly what the lineup is going to be, because I know you're a bit secret squirrel, you lot. But anyway, so I don't. So it's going to be the proceedings. If you've never joined us for one of these build-up shows before, in about a minute and a half, I am going to be reading the official lineups, the bench. Then we will have a look at the Brighton team, if I can remember to do so. And then we're going to be having a bet. And I'll be involving you in the bet. The bet will be incredibly unlikely, but in a very, very, very unlikely situation that the bet comes in, I will be giving you a phrase that pays, which you're going to put into the live chat. And that will allow anybody a chance of winning all the money from the bet. Hey, can't say fairer than that. I'm very, very bad at betting because I make the bets. Highly unlikely, but if it comes in, someone's going to be minted. And that's what we want, right? We don't want to give away a fiver. We want to give away £500. We want to give away £1,000, really. That'd be really good. Anyway, hope you've had all of a lovely new year, a happy new year, as I said. I'm not expecting to see Mohamed Kudus. We expect that not to happen. We've been briefed, prepared for the bad news that Lucas Paquetá won't be playing. I hope that is just a ruse. I really do hope that. I'm a little bit worried that we might be starting with Fanny Stings up front. That could be not too good, by the way. But hopefully I am proven wrong with all of it. What's he going to do on the left? I think he's going to go with Ben Rama. We don't know. We really don't know what's going to happen here. But what we do know is Brighton have also got quite a big injury list themselves. Missing Matoma. I think so. Anyway, it was out for 6 weeks. Maybe they're having a ruse on us. Anyway, without any further delay, the team should be out. I'm going to refresh my page. And they're not very good. They're not very good, West Ham, I've got to say. They're a little bit slower than they should be, to be honest with you. I bet a load of you lot know the team anyway. We've got it. We got the team. We got the team. Okay. To be fair, I was a little bit harsh on the media team there. They were about 5 seconds later than they should be. Oh, okay. Right then, let's go through the team. This is interesting. Mate, everything is interesting. Right. This is I'm going to say the word for the third time. I'm going to say this is very, very interesting. Let me get the chat up now because officially I'm thinking sorry. Let me pop this up. Fred, we shall see, my friend. We shall see. Let me read the team out to you now. It's Areola in goal. It's Ben Johnson at right back. Now, this is really interesting if you've heard any of the rumours about Vladimir Soufal. But I'll tell you what, it's even more interesting when you think that Ben Johnson's probably playing because Matoma isn't. I'm pleased. I thought he's been all right so far when I've seen him this season, Johnson. Konstantinos Mavropanos, which is the finest name in all of football. I've decreed it so. Angelo Ogbonna next to him. Now, you obviously know, I'm sure you all know. You're all over this stuff, you lot. You clever bunch. Naifa Gerd is off the African Cup of Nations. Might even be his last game for West Ham. Who knows? Obviously, Kurt Zuma, he's had a bit of a knock, hasn't he? A little bit of a knock to that knee, the old knocky knee. So it's Ogbonna and Mavropanos again, but they've done all right. We didn't mind that so much in the last game, now did we? Emerson, just give me his full name for once. Emerson Palmieri, at left back, obviously. We have a midfield three of Edson Alvarez, Thomas Souček, and James Ward-Prowse. And we have a front line of Pablo Fornals, Jared Bowen, and Said Ben Rama. There we go. That's the West Ham team. Now, I should probably tell you at this point, we do run a poll. And we run a poll to see how you're feeling about this team. How do you feel about the starting lineup? Now, what I would suggest, actually, let me check the bench just before I say it. Okay, bearing in mind that Lucas Paquetá is not on the bench, there's not an awful. I'd be interested to see what the feeling is here. Do you feel betrayed by the lineup? Are you happy with the lineup? I do think to a certain extent, David Moyes' hands were tied to a certain extent. In as much as no Mohamed Kudus, we were told, naughty boys, no, you can't have him. Lucas Paquetá, it turns out, I thought it was a ruse. Do you see the Instagram post? He was sort of kicking back on his chair with his feet up, reading a book. Actually, I was told he was reading the Bible. So I think he was sort of praying for divine intervention. It did not come. There was no miracle. He is unavailable for this game. And so he couldn't pick Lucas Paquetá, and obviously he couldn't pick Nyford. So to a certain extent, possibly you might feel differently. Possibly the starting lineup was forced upon him. If you notice, scrolling across the bottom of your screen at the moment, the starting lineup, people always ask, say, can you pop the starting lineup up? It's there. Areola, Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Emerson, Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, Thomas Souček, Pablo Fornals, Said Ben Rama, Jared Bowen. I must be perfectly blunt here and say that I'm not totally enamoured with the front line. As I say, I think he's got a lot of gouge free cards here, David Moyes, but I would have liked to have seen him have used Maxwell Cornet more up to now, because I think he would have been a viable option. We're slow. This is a slow front line. It really is. The one thing that was really, I thought, was operated very, very well against Brighton before was the counter-attack. Said Ben Rama and Pablo Fornals are not counter-attacking players. That being said, actually, Fornals is if he plays the first pass. There we go. Right. Anyway, what are we going to do now? Let's have a little look at the bench. I've had a glimpse at it. I noticed. I spied academy players. Let's go and have a little look. So the bench: Lucas Fabianski. He's not an academy player, obviously. Casey. This is really good. This is really, really good. Look. He's an incredibly talented player, and what an experience for him. Get some, to get on the bench, of the Premier League in a game of this magnitude. Really pleased for him. Maxwell Cornet, we've obviously discussed. Connor Coventry makes it onto the bench for this game. Aaron Cresswell, Annie Dings, Devine Mabama is playing. Lang is also playing, and so is Alford. Lewis Orford. This is really, really. I think this is good news. It ain't great. Look, come on. We'd all like Mohamed Kudus to be there. Lucas Paquetá. We'd like these players involved. We really would. But the moment you can't do them, I think if I was a young player and I was thinking, look, if I can't get on the bench now, I ain't getting on at all. So I'm actually pleased. I'm pleased to see them now. I really am. For those, for Lang, for Orford, for Casey in particular. I don't mean I'm not pleased for Coventry and Mubama, but we've seen them before. But particularly for these lads, I think this is really, really good. I really do. Absolutely delighted to see that. No, look, Christian, you're probably right. And I'm not saying he's going to bring them on, but I do think it's good for them. I really do. And I am pleased for them. I really am. Yeah. He doesn't need to bring them on. Probably doesn't. Even when he actually has substitutes there, he might sometimes want to use. Thomas Souček still plays all the game, doesn't he? Let's be fair. Ward-Prowse is going to play all the game. Edson Alvarez is going to play all the game. The unlikely occurrence that we're going to be loads of goals ahead against Brighton, which isn't going to happen. I agree. We're not going to see these guys. If we see one, it might be Casey. But let's sort of, without being funny, let's hope not, because it probably means one of our centre backs has got injured. So we're going to have to watch out for this. This is for sure. Right then, I think if you've got it up there, because I don't have it, Charlie. Do you know the Brighton team, please, my friend? Oh, my word. Okay. So it's Steele, it's Milner, it's Webster, Van Heck, Esputin. I can't even say that. Grosh, Hinshelwood is with an H, and it's just scrolled off my screen. We'll wait for it to come back again. Estupinian. There you go. Got it. Grosh, Hinshelwood, Buonanotte, Gilmore, João Pedro, who has been a very, very good signing, I think, for them. And Danny Welbeck. They've got some journeymen there, haven't they? They really do have some journeymen. This is an interesting game. It really is. I'm not ruling this out. I'm not ruling out a win here. It has to be said. I'm not massively impressed with West Ham's team for the reasons that we've just covered. But I think we got a good defence. I think we've got a midfield that can really shut them down, and we can certainly score from set plays. Jared Bowen's, could be worth a goal. Bowen's in really good goal scoring form here. I think their starting lineup is probably giving me a little bit of hope, actually. And if you wouldn't mind, please, Charlie, what do they have on the bench? Have they got a bench? Have they even got a bench? They've got a massive injury crisis. Verboegen, Kavanagh, Samuels, Moda, Dahoud, Baliba, Lallana, Baker Bote, that's just one player, and Ferguson, who is obviously a very, very good young striker. He caused us all manner of problems, the last one. So, yeah, there you go. We've got an inexperienced bench. I think it's probably fair to say that. And just scrolling on the bottom of your screens now, you have both starting lineups, both for West Ham and for Brighton. Not ideal for either club, it has to be said. But let's hope we can get something out of this. Right, what we'll do is we will get to your comments in just a little while. I couldn't leave that one out. From my voice of an angel, Michael Levy Jr. Soufal has gone to a goal. Can you imagine if Soufal turned up at the lake with Jill? I don't know what's happening with that camera, by the way. But anyway, there we go. Don't forget to vote in the poll. Let us know what you think about the team. We'll get to that a little bit later. I think the thing is now, before we go into any further, before we start really looking at your comments properly, I think I'm just gonna start that comment there for Bobby Peters, but we'll get to that in just a second because I think it is worth discussing whether a point is a good result or not. I think it's probably time to do a bet. Now, this is either the best or the worst part of the show, whichever way you look at it. For me, it's definitely the worst part of the show because I have to multitask, and as we all know, men can't multitask. Actually, there's a few things to do, like drink and drive and things like that. But in the main, men can't multitask. So, actually, I can eat tortilla chips and watch Netflix. To be fair, I can do that at the same time. So there are some multitasking abilities which we have. Now, the idea of a bet is to try and win somebody in this chat some money. So I'm going to need your help here because whilst we're compiling this bet, I'm going to need your help to put the bet together. And then I'm going to ask one of you guys to try and do the phrase that pays. Now, there's something that I noticed that was a little facility on this betting app, which you can bet half time and then full time. So what I want is basically, I want a scoreline. Can we start with a scoreline? 1-0 to West Ham's winning nobody any money, right? I'll just tell you that much. So a little bit more than that. It's come along now, Scott. That would be like 1,000 to 1, wouldn't it? Really? No, he may do, but just like a really, really soft one. Well, thank you very much, GP. I'm going to go with this. I am sorry, Leonardo. Let me pop that there. Leonardo, I'm actually going with this highly unlikely scoreline. Anything could happen, right? Honestly, it really could. We both have an injury crisis. I don't mean you and me, Leonardo. How's the Achilles, by the way? He had a bad ankle. He had a bad Achilles. He was injured last season. I don't know. He wasn't playing football, by the way. He had an injury. So we're going to go with West Ham 3. West Ham 3. God, you can barely find it. You have to scroll down so much. And what about, are we thinking West Ham are leading in both halves? Or do we think it's a draw at the first half and then in the second half West Ham come back to win it? I'd certainly like to know. Oh, hold on. Okay, right. Do you know what? I'm actually going to, this is going so fast, this chat. Talis, I don't think I can specify that much because I think that might be a little bit. So what we'll do, because that's us winning. Okay. Why not? Why not? Let's have us both winning on both halves. This is absolutely crazy. He's got half with the most goals. Right, so we're going West Ham on this one. Now what I need, I think we can have 2 of the West Ham goal scorers, one Brighton. One Brighton. This is sadly unlikely. I do apologise. But hey, I'm not asking. Someone complained about this. Said, look, you don't have to spend your own money. You know, we spend Hammers Chat's money on this. Don't worry about it. What? Oh, Darren. Ward-Prowse to score a free kick. Whilst I'm putting Ward-Prowse into the bet, I don't think we can specify a free kick. We don't need to. Let's go for Ward-Prowse to score at any time. Why not? Why not? Do you know what? I think that's a really good one. Let's get Ward-Prowse to score at any time. Give me another goal score. I'm not doing 4-0 to Brighton. That's for sure. Souček to score. Ian said Souček to score. I'm not sure. Need to get a win. Yeah, sorry, I clicked on that accidentally. No offense to you, Con. I was trying to get a score up there. So let's try and click on Thomas Souček to score. Oh, I mean, that doesn't... Okay, we'll do it. We'll do Thomas Souček to score. What about... Oh, my word, it's about... Well, I'll carry on then, didn't I? Let's have... Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll do a card and let's have one Brighton goal scorer. I'm looking here. This is going really, really quickly, this chat. The first one I see, we're going to use. Give me a Brighton goal scorer. Come on, guys. We got lots. We got the West Ham ones. Got two of them. Ogbonna card. We've got Emerson to score. Okay, I'm going to do that. Pedro to score a pen. I won't do a pen. I'll just do Pedro. Just do Pedro to score. That should really do it, right? João Pedro to score. A bit bloody stingy, to be perfectly honest with you. Right, what do we have? We had some cards. We'll stick. This is preposterous. Did somebody say? I think somebody said. Somebody definitely said for now to have a card. I remember that. Right, that's done. That's done. Okay, add to bet slip. Yeah, I want to boost by 25%. Place bet. Right, here we go. Right, that's done. That bet is done. I need a phrase that pays. Right? I need a phrase that pays. And the first one that I can put up without it looking absolutely disgusting, keep that on there, please. I'll actually remind me of that in a second, Charlie. Pop that back up in a second. Let me do the phrase, if you would. That's okay. That's one. We'll do this one here. That's a good one. Bloody hell, you lot are quick at typing. You are. Let's go with Toby here. What the heck? Right, okay. So what you have to do is you have to copy that phrase. You have to type that into the chat. What the heck? Just copy that there. But Toby 53, copy that. Here's the unlikely sequence of events that needs to happen in order for somebody to win. And I'll get to it in a minute. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a double one here. Full-time score will be West Ham 3, Brighton 2. Almost forgot we were playing. Half-time. West Ham win both halves, are winning by both halves. James Ward-Prowse going to score anytime. Thomas Souček to score anytime. And I have accidentally put Pablo Fornals to be sent off. But, because I clicked the wrong button. But, if that unlikely set of circumstances happens, someone is going to win £1,500. So that's got to happen. And you've got to type, what the heck? And we'll get my daughter to select it, so it's all above board and all the rest of it. I would love to give somebody £1,500. There you go. To be fair, if we'd have just done it West Ham to win 1-0, we'd be giving someone 20 quid. I don't want to give someone 20 quid. I just hope one day, we're doing this Hammers Chat, I want to give someone a load of money. That'd be absolutely brilliant. There you go. Anyway, let me go back to this thing, Charlie, because you've starred that here. This is from Paul. Can you wish my youngest hammer, Angus, a happy 13th birthday? I bloody can. Happy birthday, Angus. Happy birthday, Angus. I'll tell you what, I'm looking around here. What you've got to do is I'm looking for a coaster. A coaster with the moster. I've got a coaster somewhere here. Here you go. Got one here. Right here. I've got a coaster there. He can have that for his birthday. There we go. All right. You get in contact with us. The email's in the description of this video or in all our videos. Get in contact with us, Paul. Happy 13th birthday. Oh, let's hope to get a win for Angus. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I can't give you the 3 points. I can give you a Hammers Chat coaster, though. Happy birthday, Angus. Very, very happy birthday, mate. And let's just say, GP, he's always changing his picture, GP, I noticed. Have you ever had a sexy seagull pinch chip? I've got a video. I've got a video, and this happened at Swanage, of I don't know whether to grasp my daughter up. Basically, we were sat down with our legs over the quayside at Swanage. If you've ever been there, you'll know what I mean. Right by where the tram line is, there's an arcade there, and there's like a wall. And we were sitting on there, and I said to my daughter Chloe, I said, "Don't feed the seagulls. We've got some chips. You know what I mean? There's like a little triangle thing there. There's 2 chip shops next to each other." And we're sat there. And she did. And anyway, it started a feeding frenzy, right? It started a feeding frenzy. All the seagulls came down. They whipped everything, all the chips, everything. My daughter was only little at the time, and loads of our stuff actually fell in the sea. I had to climb in the sea, fully clothed, and we ended up at the end of the pier. There's these toilets. We ended up in the pier, on a hand dryer, drying everything out for about an hour. So yes, but it wasn't a sexy seagull. Not a story you probably needed to hear, but there you go. Anyway, that's it. Let's get back to the live chat. So, boys and girls, if everyone's wondering why everyone's saying what the heck is to get put in, it's got to be in it to win it. It's the phrase that pays. If the bet comes in, it's a true story, Doug. It's a true. They didn't. I was really. I'll tell you what. I was really peeved actually, because it was a time. It was before COVID and all the rest of it. So there was just a lot more cash around. I always used to take cash on holiday. I don't know why. I always used to take cash on holiday, and I had about 300 quid or something. Right, it's about as much cash as I could get in my wallet. Just nice to have kick on holiday, ice cream, fish and chips, all the rest of it. And when I climbed in the sea, I forgot I had my wallet. I left my phone up. On the thing, I took my wallet in there, so I was actually trying out money in the gents' toilets. It was not good, but funny enough, I've actually got the video up to the point, because it was just doing like a little nice family video, and in the video I'm saying, "Oh, Chloe, don't feed the second," and bang, and then of course the video sort of stops. I got it somewhere. Anyway, there you go. Right, no more seagulls. No, if people want to discuss it, we could discuss it on Patreon another time. In our in our naked podcast thing. Let's get back to the football now. What do we think? What do we think about the lineup? Are we confident? Are we confident today? I'm just going to go back to these starred ones, because Bobby Peters put this message up earlier on. Basically, when you star a message, you can sort of save it to use it later. It goes so fast, the chat, just on the side there. Let's be honest, Gonzo, a point is not a bad result. I would absolutely agree with you there, Bobby. I would absolutely agree. But there's opportunity there, isn't there? There's real opportunity. A draw is fine. I see one of those ones where they say, "Oh, I bet if you ask both managers there now, they'd both take a point." It's easy to say. I don't know how true it is. There is opportunity. There really is. For whoever, for either team here, Brighton will be looking at it, think, "Roll, we can go level on West Ham if we beat them." I think Man United are only 1 point ahead of them, quite possibly. We could go opportunity for us. We really cement sixth. We make a statement, and we can go 4 points ahead of Man U, 6 points ahead of Brighton. And as I said, for the last week or two, if we can get to the end of January, start of February, still in contention. And when I say contention, 7th place, something like that, then I would feel really confident about qualifying for Europe. We must surely be stronger after the transfer window. Injuries permitting, right? Injuries permitting. An injury can happen, and you can't really plan for that. But as long as no one gets injured, we should be stronger at the end of the transfer window, you'd hope. We get to the end of the transfer window, someone's bought, even if it's a loan or whatever. So I'd be quite confident. Obviously, other teams are going to strengthen as well. But hey, sorry. So I'm just reading the comments here. Yes, someone's asking, where's Gio? He is up. He's up in the motherland. He went up for Hogmanay. Is that right? I think I got that right, Hogmanay. Went up for the new year, and I think they're having a jolly nice time right by the lock there. E. Davis says we are going to look so slow. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean. Best West Ham player ever. It's talking about me. I don't think he's talking about me. I obviously missed a conversation just before that. Let's have a look at what Hawkins family are saying. Expected formation. Take a draw now with no Kudus, no Paquetá. Must get a point. Anything less at home under the lights isn't good enough. Must beat teams around us. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, we don't want to lose, do we? I think you're pretty much saying, you know, what I think what a lot of us think in there. Yes, did he scored that? He scored a really, really good goal. It was against who did it beat? Beat Tottenham, didn't they? Yeah. Scored a really good goal. Really good goal. I think it was in that one. Anyway. Anyway, so have a look here. A beat to the Adonis. If Benrahma and Fornells don't perform, they can't complain about their bench status or being sold. I'm really surprised. Look, if they come in and they performed well, then I understand why they would be on there. And I don't like to dig any one player, because I think they're both good guys, right? I really do. I think both Fornells and Benrahma are both good guys. But sometimes I look at them, I think, particularly at Benrahma in the last time we saw him, I think, is there nobody in the academy that can do better than that? It ain't great. It ain't great. I think the answer to that is, I think there probably is. So I don't know why they keep getting played there. It's a bit of a weird one, really. Or as I say, just give Cornet a go. You know, I think he's earned it because of how well he played when he came on against Bakatopola. And also think it's worth it because I think the others have been so poor. Look, I hope to be proven wrong. But the last few times I've seen both Fornells and Benrahma, they just don't threaten the opposition's goal. I hope to be proven wrong. I really, really do. And I'm not saying they can't do it, but they need to prove themselves now. Now's the time to step up, right? Now with Kudusov and Paquetá with an injured calf. I keep on saying knee. It's not a knee, it's a calf. Now's the time to step up. Now is the time. Now when we need the goal. Okay, there have been precious little goals and assists so far this season. We could do one now. And remember, Benrahma, I'm not even talking about a penalty. Anyone can miss a penalty. Honestly, that doesn't bother me. I think, Soma, no, I think Benny on the left here. I'd be very surprised if Benny's not on the left. Oh, you're saying a centre forward. I don't know. I don't look. I wouldn't put any money on it. And as you've seen what my betting's like, it's no bloody good, is it? But if I had to put tuppence on it, I think I would say Benrahma on the left, Fornells on the right, Bowen through the middle. I think it might be the best place for Fornells because he needs to be able to move the ball forward quickly. I'll tell you what, big game for Ben Johnson tonight, actually, because I think when you've got this sort of team and we're playing like we are, I think there's maybe even more onus on the fullbacks to do a little bit of attacking. I was going to say a little bit more attacking. You know, Emerson has been almost flawless, hasn't he, really, with his attacking? So, yeah, but I think a good chance for Johnson to prove himself. I really want it. But funny, I said about Benrahma, I said about Fornells. I actually wanted it to work out for all of them. I wanted it to work out for all West Ham players. But I would really like it to work out for Ben Johnson. I would love it if Ben Johnson had a really good second half of the season, really started to tap into his potential, look like a player, and then got a new contract. I'd really like it, but he's going to need to impress. I think he really does, and I think it's another. It's a big game. I don't worry about Alvarez in this. I think it's a big game for James Ward-Prowse today. I do wonder if he's going to step up and come to the fore. I'm going to assume Hannah is a Brighton fan, and I call you very welcome, Hannah. Listen, I'm going to let the chat answer this. I'll let the chat answer that, and then Stephen Russell has straight away. In some games we have when we can't. There's a certain composition. When we don't have Alvarez, we miss Declan Rice. That's what I'm going to say. But I'll be interested to see what the chat say about that. I'm sure they'll give you an answer in the chat there, Hannah. Sorry, same on it. No, you posted. You don't need to post it again. We've my goodness, Hannah, you've posted it 4 times. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Mate, we'll just answer Hannah and see how that works out. Okay, this is interesting. Dazamarsh, clutching at straws now, but we're at home. Souček up front. I do wonder, but if we're going to do that, we're going to need to start crossing the ball. For me, we don't cross the ball enough. To do that, you almost want a right foot on the right and a left foot on the left. You can't be having this sort of cutting back in, and you know, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think there's going to be any surprises, and I think the other thing is that I don't think David Moyes is going to be surprising Espirito Santo. What I'm talking about? Oh, what's his? I forgot his bloody name now. But you know the fella. Little geezer, Italian, manages Brighton. You know the fella. I don't think he's going to be surprising at all. He's going to be wanting his revenge. I mean, he really is, isn't he? There's no doubt about that at all. What else have we got here? We've got Barry. Hello, Barry said. Not only we got Kutas and Jack. Yeah, he's answering to Hannah. I think people are thinking that Hannah might be a troll. I've had worse trolls, quite frankly, in the chat here. Ben Johnson, this is from Zippy. Ben Johnson has all the attributes apart from concentration for the whole game. Do you know what? I think he's technically better than he's shown. I don't think that's a bad shout. I don't know why I'm clicking on this. I feel I have to. Hannah, I'm a West Ham fan on Mum's account. Does Mum know you're on her account, Hannah? Yeah, I mean, it was funny, Hannah, that you asked whether we missed Declan Rice. You would probably be armed with the information yourself. Anyway, hey, back to school tomorrow, Hannah. I'm quite sure. There you go. It's fine. Don't worry. Any naughtiness and I got a secret button. Don't worry about it. Everyone said don't feed the trolls. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, what about your score predictions? But even Hannah can give a score prediction from her mum's account, if you so wish. What are your score predictions for today? I am feeling slightly positive, but as I say, a lot of that has to do with Brighton's team. The teams, by the way, are on the bottom of the screen there. If you just come straight to the video, teams are there. No Soufal. We don't know why. There was a rumour this morning. I don't know why I'm being secretive about it. It's not my rumour. I didn't say it. He's unhappy, apparently. I don't actually believe it. I like not to believe this stuff. There is no knife for Gerd, and because he's up for the African Cup of Nations, Lucas Paquetá has got a calf injury. We're hoping he'll be back. I mean, does he? I don't know. Does he need to play against Bristol Cities? I don't know. I don't think he does. We'll have to see. Maybe he makes the bench for that one. Obviously, Mohamed Kudus is off on African Cup of Nations duty. It is interesting, though. It has to be said. I do think it's interesting that he hasn't started Annie Dings. That's for sure. Anyway, right. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Hannah on a little timeout there, Hannah. A little timeout for you. But we hope you enjoy the game tonight. Right. Okay. Nicholas Staunton. Hello, mate. How are you? Nicholas, I emailed you, mate. I emailed you. Check your emails. I emailed you just before Christmas, matey. Be nice to hear back from you, mate. Any pre-game beard and Tash tip? Hey, no, I think we're even done on our Manscaped, Nicholas. To be honest with you, mate. It's a touch rugged, the beard and the tash at the moment. This tash was only there from the last transfer window, but I think I'm feeling rather Mexican now. So I think the tash is here to stay until another bet or something comes about. I can't be doing a beard. Too itchy the beard. Anyway, there you go. Right, so let's get some scores here. 3-2 to the mighty Hammers, says Lee. Kerry, I can see you trolling me. I'm not clicking on your thing. Thank you very much. Bill Morris, 3-1. Kerry's trolling me about the way I pronounce some dessert. I can see what she did. 3-1 says Bill. Carl says 3-2. Marcus Leonard says 3-1, obviously to West Ham. He's saying that. Oh, Major's thinking a classic game. 4-3. A bit of a classic there. So close, Mr. B. So close. 3-1. I love it. Anyway, 3-1 to the Hammers. Nacho Skill. So I've got to be really careful what I say. 4-2. Right, I'm gonna click to the bottom here because there's a lot of stuff going on here. What have we got here? Seamus says 6-0 to the Hammers. We like that. Boiled egg 1-0. Hey, look, sorry, Dazza. They do. I do wonder. They are. I mean, I think there's probably a lot older players than Ogbonna, maybe, but I don't know. It is odd, isn't it? They got a few. So they got Lallana, Welbeck, and Milner there. So they got a few journeymen there, that's for sure. But what a great career, by the way, Milner's had. Let's just put it that way. He's going to retire with a lot of medals and a lot of probably a bloody lot of money as well, quite frankly. The real Randy Jackson says a measured 3-1 victory for the Irons. I like that. That's really cool. What have we got? I think so. I don't think. Look, not that I watch any of that stuff anyway, Mr. Doofus. But I'm feeling they probably don't sport the moustache anymore. You know, so I think it's probably went out. But it wasn't just you know, those sort of filmmakers that had the moustache back then. I think everyone was sporting that moustache. Cricketers had that moustache. So yeah, I think it's unfair just to claim it for one particular genre of film. Rob says 3-1. Boiled egg. We done boiled egg. Jamie Green, fine coat. It's nice. Oh, we like it, Jamie. A fellow connoisseur, a fellow coat connoisseur, may I say. Go, Daniel. Winding us up, isn't he? Do you know what? This is a good question. Naz, where's that creativity going to come from? It's apps. Yes, that's the worry. And that's why Fornals has got to step up and Ben Rama's got to step up. I'm not entirely convinced they will, which is why I think we're going to look to need to see something from James Ward-Prowse and possibly from the fullbacks. I really, really, really do on this one. There's a lot of positivity in the chat, by the way. Stephen Gray says 2-1 to the Hammers. And Frank says 3-1 to the Hammers. I'll do one more before Bezo comes and joins us. Bevo? Who's Bevo? He's looking at me funny from the green room now. At 4-3, West Ham. Anyway, there we go. So yes, look, we do not know about Soufal. We do not know. Anyway, you have missed the bet, Joe. You have. Just type in what the heck. In fact, I'll read the bet to you. I'll read that. It's fine. Hello, Joan. I hope you're keeping well. Happy New Year to you, by the way. The full-time score in these unlikely set of occurrences, Joan, you know how it is. The full-time score has to be 3-2 to West Ham, Joan. At half-time, West Ham have to be winning, and at full-time, West Ham obviously have to win. Thomas Souček's got a score. James Ward-Prowse has got a score. And this is the bit. I clicked the wrong bit, Joan. I can only apologise and hold my hands up. But it is, honestly, I'm wasting my own money here, so don't worry about it. Pablo Fornals has to be sent off. So, Happy New Year, I guess, on that one. But if all that stuff happens, someone in the chat who types "what the heck" wins £1,500. There you go. Yes. Lassie Dog. What, Lassie? Remember Lassie? Probably not. Probably most people don't. Anyway, yes, Lassie Dog. That's it. What the heck? Charlie. Bevo.
Thank you. The correct name this time.
What did I say? Bezo.
Bezo.
I don't know.
Not happy.
No. How are
Not
you?
happy. You all right?
I'm all right. What's on your jumper, by the way?
Oh, it is a thing that is reminiscent of and is legally distinct, let's say, from The Last of Us, the PlayStation game / TV show.
Did you play the game?
Yes, I've played both the games many times. Yeah.
Did you watch the TV show?
I haven't. I'll tell you why. Right?
Yes, this is controversial, as I understand it.
This is what happened, okay? So I remember I actually mentioned this to you when it happened, right? It had just come out, and I was really excited to watch it. And I was waiting to watch it with my girlfriend, who also loves The Last of Us and has played all the Last of Us games, right? And then for some reason, we started watching The Walking Dead. Now, I don't know why. She's watched all of it. Well, most of it. I hadn't seen anything past the first episode. So we started watching The Walking Dead. And then we just never got back around to doing The Last of Us. And I keep thinking to myself, I need to watch The Last of Us. And then I say to her, should we watch Last of Us? She goes, oh, yeah. And then we watch something else. And then I keep thinking to myself, oh, I should wait. So at some point in 2024, it will happen to be ready for season 2. Because I know I'm going to enjoy it.
I think
but
you
somehow
I think you may. Yeah, I think you may. That's a long commitment. The Walking Dead's a long commitment. Was it eight series or something?
It's a long thing.
I couldn't. Much like the main character. I couldn't quite. Actually, what am I doing? People might not watch it. I'm saying nothing. It's bad news if you're thinking about giving a spoiler about something that started over 10 years ago. I'm saying nothing.
I mean, let me put it this way. There's not a lot of good things happening in that show. I'm quite deep in. I'm quite far in at this point. You know, I've seen. Well, there you go. I've seen.
Said 4 nails equals The Walking Dead.
What's the guy's called? What's the dude called?
Rick.
Not
Grimes.
Rick. Not Rick. He's a baddie. He turns up.
Oh, Negan.
Yes. We're in prime Negan territory now.
He's just right. Okay.
So he's been around for a little bit. The bit where it's at night and they first sort of realize what he's all about. Let's say, without wishing to spoil what happens during that scene.
Shocking scenes. Charlie.
That has happened. So I'm deep into, and I can say this now comfortably. Not a lot of good things happen in that. Not a lot of nice things happen in that show. Anyone who's asking for the bench, by the way,
he's a bad man. So anyway, what's the poll saying about the team, Charlie?
First of all, just quickly, Dave, SD Punch Drunk Gaming. Thank you very much for the £2, my friend. Massively helps us out.
Happy New Year.
Hope you're good. Right, let's get on to it. So the poll. We asked how you felt about starting 11. Okay, 4% of people. In fact, let's just run it down from the top. 4% of people were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed. 36% of people, they were just whelmed. 41% of people were underwhelmed, and 17% said it's crap, to be honest. So most people underwhelmed. Second most were just whelmed. Then it's crap. Then overwhelmed, which I understand. I'm probably a bit. I'm in the just whelmed category, personally. But I can understand why people would be lesser than that. You know, I think we're playing with a forced hand in a lot of ways. You know.
Yeah. Look. What can I say? What can I say? I think. How are you feeling about it though? So you are just feeling slightly underwhelmed. You got any confidence at all?
No, I put myself in just whelmed. I think for me, when I look at it, right. Really, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was good. Yeah, I typed in overwhelmed, and then the next one became very obvious. Do you know what? Because we're playing with a forced hand, I can sort of forgive it in a way, if you know what I mean. If we had all of our players and we did this, I'd be like, whoa, okay, whoa, what's going on here? Especially against a team as good as Brighton, who are weak, so we have a great opportunity to take advantage of them. I'd be a bit whatever. But outside of that, you look at it. I mean, realistically, it's probably the strongest he could have gone, given the scenario. I mean, look, obviously we don't have a striker. That becomes an interesting conversation, because I personally, and this is an insane thing to say, I personally would be tempted to not put Mo in there. I'd be tempted to, I don't know who, probably Ben Rama, but I'd be tempted to do literally something else, because I think especially last time Brighton played against Tottenham, obviously went very well for them, scoreline wise. I mean, they went a bit mad towards the end, but it was what it was. They played a diamond formation, right? And I'm like, do you know what? If we had Jared Bowen running at just a fullback with no winger to try and help him out, to try and back him out or anything, that could be really effective. So I'd be tempted to do it, even though I do think that's slightly insane. Outside of that, look, it's the two strongest centre-backs we could have played. Johnson, I'm really happy to see, because Soufal is unavailable. We'll see what happens there. But Johnson is like, I'm really happy to see him get a game. I don't know. Look, it's not ideal. And obviously, there is a lot of problems. There is a lot of problems in that lineup. But given the hand we've been dealt, I kind of think it's probably the strongest we could do.
I think so as well. I think I might have moved things around just a little bit as well. I wouldn't have had Ben Rama in there. I really
Sure.
wasn't. I think it was so was so bad. Last time he played was so bad. It's just not something I want to see again. And I not to poo-poo him unnecessarily. I think he's still got, a lot to offer another team and another club. I just think, for all reasons we discussed, his confidence has been shattered at West Ham. I just can't think that there isn't nobody else that would do a better job. I've just starred something. By the way, Nick, I've been reading your posts, mate. I'm glad you found the email. I won't obviously reply to you tonight. It's got a busy old night. Send me an email, mate, and I'll speak to you tomorrow, and I look forward to it, mate. So I hope you're keeping well, buddy. Let's just go back to this one. I just wanted to pop this one up. What a great point. I completely missed this. Ferrell said no Tilo in the squad. Now that's sense, symbolic, right? Isn't it?
Makes sense, right?
He's going.
I mean, we had Fabrizio was tweeting about it, an hour and a bit ago or something, saying
I don't know. What did he say? No, I don't know.
Let me. I'll pull it up now. I believe the word was final stages, but let me pull up the exact tweet. Where is his big smiley face? There we go. AS Monaco and West Ham are finalising the deal for Thilo Kehrer. It will be a loan with a mandatory buy option clause in case of specific targets. I understand AS Monaco will pay 500 grand loan fee. There are still details to clarify in order to get the deal done and sealed soon. That was 2 hours ago. He tweeted that.
Wow. Okay. That's
interesting. Doesn't necessarily surprise me that he's not there. I mean, I would sort of.
No, but I didn't know that. I was sort of just
fair
rushing around making dinner for the kids and everything before we started here, so I didn't know. And I've got to be honest with you, I've been trying to wrap up this Netflix series that I've been trying to do as well whilst feeding the kids. So no, that's completely escaped me at the moment, actually. So yeah, with armed with that information, I also am not surprised that he's not there tonight.
Grant's a great opportunity for people like Casey. A wonderful one. Look, I don't think he's going to come on as much as anyone else doesn't think he's going to come on. Yeah. But if for some reason Johnson gets injured, or not Johnson, sorry, Mavropanos or Sonagbona or whatever get injured, there's a moment where we could see him, especially if if Emerson gets injured. Look, Cresswell will just come on. If we could move things around, he probably wouldn't do it. But it grants an amazing opportunity just in case. And that's kind of why I was talking about this in the Patreon group chat with someone earlier. Dan, I think it was, about the idea of him going just out on loan and seeming like a bit of a can't we just sell him sort of thing. It does just all of a sudden you have a pathway for someone like Casey, which did not exist before. And sure, part of that is because Aged and Zuma aren't available for whatever reasons, but I mean, I think that's such a wonderful opportunity. That I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth too much with it a little bit.
No,
I say won't play though, but
for now, no. If I thought it was a permanent path for Casey, I'd be, I'd be a little bit more excited about it. This Moyes is buying a centre back. I
agree with that.
I'm absolutely convinced. It's the series I was watching was Fool Me Once. It's on Netflix. Not bad at all. I tell you now, not bad at all. A little bit of a what do you call them? Like a mystery, like a thriller mystery drama. I think 5 or 6 episodes. Good though. It's good. Well cast.
I tell you what. One thing I did hear you say earlier about these youth players on the bench.
Yeah,
I can see a situation in which Orford or Coventry make their way onto the pitch. Because David Moyes has had a habit of substituting Alvarez off.
Yes, that
I could see a scenario in which specifically Coventry would at least be thought about coming on. It's unlikely, but I could see it.
Yeah, it's maybe. It's. I mean, what can you say? Look, Coventry's on. They probably would bring Coventry on before he brought Orford on. Because he probably feels he could do a little bit better in the now. But Orford would be the future of the club in central midfield, you would think, and obviously Coventry, is going to be leaving at the end of the season. But hey, it'd be really nice to see one or two of the youngsters tonight. I think that's fair. I'll tell you what is interesting though, particularly that Thilo Kehrer one. They're getting this stuff done quickly, and they needed to. It's what I said in a video the other day. We need basically for places. We need players going out anyway, and it shows at least I think that probably shows the benefit of the director of football, quite possibly, because he's had nothing else to worry about. He can be lining this stuff up. You know, it does. We don't. It almost felt for years like we would get to a transfer window and we'd deal with it then. But you get a dedicated department. You deal with this stuff in October and November and December, and then when January comes around, whack.
Also, yeah, we know like our previous director of football in all but name, David Sullivan.
Yes,
we know what his style is. His style is to wait and to try and see what happens, and it's a very conservative approach to the transfer window. If I was to word it politely, if I was to say it unpolitely, I would say he just waits until the last second to do everything. But we move, and I feel like this is the exact opposite. It's nice to see that we have just someone who's like, right, let's get out and get this sorted. Because it feels like we were saying in the Patreon group chat earlier, the word rushed was used, and I don't think that's necessarily incorrect. So
we're not going to sign him, are we? He's a bit old.
Well, you never know. He's got tash like you, to be fair. But I think it's nice to see that we're actually going and get it done, and it probably shows as well that if it is a loan, that we sort of know what's going on. If it was selling because Saudi Arabia came in with a silly amount of money, then you can expect, okay, right, we accept this, and then we figure out what's going on after. This doesn't feel like one of those ones where it's a silly amount of money involved, so it feels like there's actually a plan in place of what's going on. Again, maybe I turn around at the end of the window and I go, what the hell were we thinking? But for now, I'm okay with it. It's not ideal, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, good. Well, good. I'm going.
Good.
I'm going. I think it's time.
I'm glad.
I think it's that time.
Enjoy yourself.
Well, I hope so. It's largely based upon what the team do, whether I enjoy myself or not. Oh, do you mean the 12 minutes before the game to enjoy myself?
12 minutes before the game, you never know what you might be up to. You might get something nice to eat. You could watch a bit more of that show. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I've got 24 minutes left of the last episode, so where do I squeeze that in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that you can't be doing. In my opinion, you can't be doing 12 now and then doing 12 later. You've got to do it in one go.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm gonna make myself a drink. I'm gonna take me whiteboard down with me.
Sure.
Make me notes, and I make notes on a whiteboard now. I don't have to squint and change my glasses. It's a miracle, really is. Got me pink pen, got me blue pen. All right, me pink pen, pink.
Yeah. Love this.
Goal. Right? But it's a goal, so my eyes find it quick, and then I write down, right?
Yep.
Right, in the blue, and if it is an unspectacular moment, but something I will just think I might mention in the review, the grey pen.
Grey. Okay. It. I like it. You would love the notes I make for Hamalytics when I do that on the Patreon. They are all color coded. That way, for the exact reason you're saying, you can look quickly, you can identify what you need to identify quickly without thinking.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful process. I respect it, Gonzo. I respect it.
Okay, so I'm going to take my whiteboard. I'm going to go down there now. Enjoy. Have a lovely watch along. Thank you everybody for joining us, and I'll see you all in a review with hopefully a smiley face and lots of pink ink. West Ham pink ink, by the way.
Let's go.
So see you later.
I'm here for it. Thank you, Gonzo. If you want more of Gonzo, of course, like he said, he'll be back at full time for the full match review, which will be straight after this. However, between now and then, we have a match to think about. Hello, everyone. It's the first watch along of 2024. It's very exciting. Not going to lie, the Christmas, well, I say not going to lie, you can see the Christmas tree, it's still up. I had all the intentions of taking it down. It's been a bad day. It's been one of those days. It wasn't happening, but what we can get done is your confidence levels on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most. How confident are you of a West Ham results this evening? And as you go through that, I'll say hello. Good evening to Dean. Dean, of course, put out a banging mix for New Year's that I was sat listening to. Listening along with, as opposed to live, but was highly enjoying it. I'd highly recommend you check it out. Ginge is in the chat. Ginge is in the chat. Jim, if you've ever used, hang on, Stephen, we'll come back to this. 5, love to see it. Here we go. Also, they are available. MLJ, good to see you. If you have ever used If you were looking for a way to watch the game today, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down the link in the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat, West Ham community, but more importantly, if you look on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links in which you'll find what you're looking for. And if you have ever used one, I would highly recommend, and I would appreciate if you gave a little shout out to Ginge, one of the main people who does it over there, does excellent work. Shout out to the boy. I hope you're well, bro. I hope you're good. My brain just froze. My brain absolutely just cracked up there. Let's have a look at some of these score predictions. Actually, while we look at the confidence, let's run down the team as well. Let's do that. This button wasn't working earlier. Let's just press it and see what happens, shall we? Oh, it's worked. You love to see it. West Ham lineup as such, just in case you missed it. Areola, Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbonna and Emerson in defence. Alvarez, Souček and Ward-Prowse in midfield with Fornals, Jarrod Bowen and Saeed Benrahma in the front three positions. How that works out, who knows? Fabianski is on the bench alongside Casey, Cornet, Coventry, Cresswell, Ings, Mubama, Liang and Orford. In positional order, that would be Fabianski, Casey, Liang, Cresswell, Coventry and Orford, Cornet, Ings and Mubama. Let's have a look at some of these confidence levels. Where is it? It's jumping all around. There we go. Stephen was the first one. 5. Brad's gone with a 6. Miles with a 4. Lassie 5. First Danny appearance of 20. Yeah, he is here. He's here, Ferrell. He's off camera. He's just off screen right now. But he is here. He's ready. He's prepped. Dover Kiwi's coming through with a 4. 2 says Peter. Dean's going with an 8 even with this team. I love that, Dean. I love that. Rude Geek, good to see you, sir. Louis, good to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Louis my guy. Graham's on a 5. Alex, hello again. I'm good. I'm doing okay. My brain's struggling for some reason, but I'm doing all right. We'll get there together. It's the excitement of seeing this 11. 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3. Brighton team looks very attacking, says Naz. Let's have a look at that while we're here. Brighton lineup as such. It's running across the bottom of your screen, but here it is. It's still with Milner, Webster, Van Hecken, Estupinian in defence. They have Gross, Hinchelwood, and Buonanotte in midfield, and potentially Gilmore as well, actually, with João Pedro and Welbeck up front. It does look like that sort of diamond thing they were playing against Tottenham. It does look like it'll be that again, with Milner being one of the fullbacks. Jamie Milner himself being all over the shop, just in terms of positions. He's played right back, he's played left back, he's played centre mid. He's doing everything. Names to look out for when I spoke to Joe from the Albion Obsessed podcast. Hello, Joe, if you see this. A couple of days ago on the channel, he mentioned Van Hecke has been brilliant at centre back, so that would be definitely one to look at. Estupinian came back, he scored a brilliant goal against Tottenham, but he's obviously very dangerous on the wing. Hinchwood scored a good goal against Tottenham as well. Pascal Gross, I think, has been really good this season, and then that front two. I mean, it's a fun front two. Diafra Sacco and Ena Valencia vibes with those two. Their bench is Verbruggen, Kavanagh, Samuels, Moda, Dahoud, Balba, Lallana, Baker Boyti, is how I'm going to pronounce it, and then Evan Ferguson. So like you say, an attacking lineup, to be fair, and one that is very much cobbled together due to their injury crisis as well. 2 cobbled together sides. Let's have a look at some of these other numbers. Steve, hope you're doing well, sir. In Rhodes is with a 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 6. Come on at home, we got this team. Come on, Barry, we're going to take it to him. 7.32 says Alex. 6, 4, 6.9. Jay, good to see you. Happy, good to see you. Hope you're well. 6, 7, 6. We need more depth, says Massive Fitness. Ionix is going with a 7. Mr. Optimistic, Dr. Chip Rodeo is going with a 7. Paquetá and Kudus are too important at the moment for me to give anything higher than a 5. I think that's totally fair. I think what Massive Fitness is saying along the same lines, I definitely think that's fair, to be fair. Coco, hello, come yours. Hello, Coco. Hope you're well. Happy New Year, BJ. I hope you're well. I'll say it. I'm not embarrassed. BJ, love your work. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well. 6 says Rude Geek. 8 says Ching Chang Walla. Dude, Listen, thank Ginge for all time, not just for tonight, for all time. But listen, there's no pressure, you know. I hope you're well, bro. Bring out the Angelica and show the bells. Listen, the bells are available. I think there's 2. I think I might be wrong about that. There's either 2 or 3. There could be 1. What I'm saying is I don't know how many there are. Apparently, I got less confident about that as we went on. Tom is going for a minus 3.1498421. 5 says Trini, 7 says Henry. So it's a mixed bag of confidence, to be fair. It's a very mixed bag of confidence. I did consider doing that elbow, but I didn't want to create a fire hazard, but I did consider it. And I can't lie, there are bits on the floor down there that you can't see that were on the side just to make it look slightly tidier because it was a mess. It was a mess. A mixed bag. I can appreciate that, and I can see why. Similarly to the how much do you like the lineups thing, I could see why it would be very changeable today. To be fair, let's do. I'll tell you what. Let's do score predictions, shall we? No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. We've spoken about both teams. We've spoken about the subs bench. We've spoken about Netflix. We had a brief conversation about The Walking Dead. Do let us know how you feel about the game. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. Lob them in chat and we will lock them in. We'll lock them in. As we get ready. Jeff, Happy New Year. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. Getting just about. He's back tomorrow at some point. We usually do our 9 a.m. like debrief. Someone mentioned debrief in one of the chats or comment sections as a name, which I quite like. Which we might start using. I don't know, but usually we have our 9 a.m. debrief live show that we do for the game the night before. I don't think it's going to be at 9 a.m. tomorrow because I think Gio will still be making his way back, but it will be at some point tomorrow, and then he can take back over, and I can slink back off into the background. Ideal. 2-0 either way if Benny. Listen, he might do, and I would take it because I'll tell you what, that guy, he's not bad looking. He's not bad looking. You know what I mean? Also, he gave all those people that money, so he seems like a nice guy. What I'm saying is I would. Gary's gone with a 2-1 win. Richard's gone with 6. Ashley's gone with 5 on the old confidence levels. Let's find the next one. Sue's gone with a 7. To misquote Sherlock, I think it's maybe a 2-bell problem. Not confident in defense or the attack. Midfield is all right if I have confidence. That's fair, Obsidian. I like the quote as well, but that's fair. That's absolutely fair. The last 2 matches I put 5. We got a clean sheet, so a massive fight. Keep it going. I'm here for it. The game will be kicking off, by the way, in a moment's time. I do, of course, have a timer which will tell you exactly how far behind you I am, because I will be slightly behind. I am, of course, in North Idaho today. I will be watching on the NITS, the North Idaho Independent Television Service, which will be, it is what it is. It was difficult getting out. I mean, Dean's saying here, delay flight to North Idaho. It was a difficult one today, with all those winds at Heathrow. It was going a bit crazy. So I will be slightly far behind you, but exactly how far will be exactly here. However, I will be here for the entirety of the game. First half, half time, second half, before Gonzo takes over at full time. So make sure, if you haven't, to subscribe, because we're the most consistent fan channel when it comes to watch-alongs this season. We have been wonky here, bearing in mind that, to be fair. But we are the most consistent over the last 4 years. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that bell notification button as well so you don't miss out future ones. And like the video, because it helps us out a heck of a lot. If you like the video, it really genuinely helps. It means that when people type in, West Ham, Brighton, or whatever, we come out top. It's one of those things. It seems like such a small thing, but I tell you what, it really, really helps. And you've been doing banging work on the likes already. We're already past the 300. We're laughing in that sense. We're at 348. So we're having a grand old time like that. I can't lie. We're having a grand old time. Which is probably why there's so many of you here. Thank you for watching. Dean, by the way, if your NIITS works, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against anything. Anyway, let's keep trying to find these. Keep scrolling. Right, 1-0 says Stephen. Less than 20% perception, 6 confidence, more than 20%. Side confidence. I listen. Tofa, I don't know what it's going to be, but 20 sounds realistic. 0-0. Fundamental Edson is playing. The team lineups are running across the bottom of the screen right now. Happy's going for 2-0. 1-0 says Draconian. Good to see you. 1-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Richard, good to see you. Ionix, good to see you. 3-1, 2-1, 2-2. Ben Rama 4-0. Jeff 2-1. Fly Fox Pro is going with a 2-1. I'm really confident with this. Going 3-1 despite the lineup. Love that. Boring 0-0. No way Moyes attacks with this 11. GP is going 4-1. Bowyer to get 2 and James Ward-Prowse to get 2. Listen, get him back. You know what I mean? 2-1, 4-0 Brighton, says Daniel. On the other hand, 3-2 to Totha either way. 2-1 to the Iron, says Dave. 4-0 with a Scorpion kick winner. It's happening again. It's absolutely happening again. The button I'm looking for. Where's the flipping the thingamajig? While that loads, OG is saying 3-1. We need to assert our dominance over the Brighton Curse Monster football. Yes, that's the vibe. Crashband Wallop says Rex, West Ham 6, Seagulls 2, an old-fashioned ding-donger. I tell you what, in the Premier League this year, I'll be honest with you, it's constantly possible for a wild result like that to happen. Like it's not happening every single time, don't get me wrong, but there have been a lot of wild ones this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was another mad one today. Do I think it will happen? No. We probably have less than anyone else, but wouldn't be surprised. Draconian with the $2. Thank you very much. How are you? Happy 2024, bro. I hope you have a good one. Absolutely appreciate it. The $2. X is over capacity. What the heck? Bro, we're having a nightmare. Thank you very much, Draconian. I'll tell you what, because we've probably hit it on the stream anyway. Come on, you Irons, deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things indeed. We're underway. And I hopefully will be underway at some point in the near future. We're getting there slowly. But yeah. I would love a cheeky Ben Johnson one now. I'll be honest with you. I would absolutely love it. Henry, I'm trying my hardest, I promise. I promise we will get there. But I'm trying my hardest. I was listening to the talking heads. Let me turn that off. I just need anything for now. I'd take a bench. I'm really happy Ben Johnson got an opportunity today. Listen, I'm not happy with what's gone down with Soufal and the way all that's gone. That's just darts. I'm not happy with the way that's all ended up going down. But I'm sort of hyped about the opportunity it gives Ben Johnson, because last time he played, bearing in mind, of course, it was Liverpool, so that was never going to be great. I'm happy with it. I'm genuinely happy with the fact he's getting the opportunity, because I thought he was good against Liverpool, and I thought that he deserved I think he deserves an opportunity to try and earn a place to stay. Like I say, whether or not he's good enough to play for West Ham is a completely different story. But I want to see him. I want to see him at least given that opportunity to, because I want to see the people from the youth academy get those opportunities, and it's difficult to find. Yeah, I know, it's switch starts for me as well. The chat RE Soufal. So Soufal apparently was unhappy. This is what I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. What I heard was that Soufal was essentially unhappy with the fact that he was offered the fact that his contract was a contract extension had happened, as opposed to sitting down and working out a new deal, as him and his agent felt like he deserved that new deal given the work he's putting in the club. This is what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. This is one of those things I just saw in passing on Twitter when I was doing other things. So I can't say for certain if this is actually 100% true, but this is what I saw and this is what I heard. Whether or not, how you feel about that, I guess, is different. But yeah, I don't know. So and now he's not here today. Let's move the timer to where I'm currently at, because we're actually finally here. Whether now he's not available today, I saw that he was ill at one point. I don't know. It's sort of one of those smoke without fire situations where the fire is raging and we don't know why right now. We'll see. Is how I'll pronounce it. We'll see. The timer is now correct as to where we are, because it seems to be here. Trying to figure out. Yeah, James Milner seems to be at left back. That's what it looks like right now. Seems to be at left back. Seems to be a back four. Let's see when they move forward. Oh no, no, it should be Estupinian. So where's James Milner? Was he at left back only momentarily? I mean, that definitely feels like a front two with João Pedro and Danny Welbeck. James Milner maybe forward. Maybe he's playing in the midfield three. João Pedro trying to charge in. I'll tell you what, that's well done there by Edson Alvarez. Just cuts it out. And Pablo Fornal's battling with Estupinian forward with Danny Welbeck. I thought it was Estupinian for the ball, but Danny Welbeck. Is Estupinian playing at centre back? I don't know. They're passing it around at the moment. Brighton just outside the area. Estupinian is there. Or is he could be, I guess he could be playing midfield. João Pedro is down. He's going to stay down instead of getting back up, even though he's not injured, because, you know, it is what it is. Soufal is a baller given what I don't necessarily disagree that he deserves something, to be fair. I have a less positive personal opinion of Vladimir Soufal than most do, but obviously he's a fighter. There seems to have been issues before with this kind of stuff with him at the club. I don't know exactly how that's happened, but there seemed to be at the time, and how that got over it. We'll see what happens. I'm being positive and choosing to believe that it is just like an illness thing or an injury thing, and that's why he's missing stay and nothing else, and that's all just sort of rumor and innuendo and speculation on Twitter's end, essentially. We'll see how that ends up working out. Misplaced pass for Brighton. Looking for Jamie Milner, doesn't quite work out, and that's going to be a throw into West Ham in our half. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But James Milner definitely seems to be at left back, or he's very wide on the left, and it does feel like a diamond. Second most Premier League appearances in history for James Milner today. Only to Ryan Giggs. 600 and something it was. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because Estupinian is there. Is it a back three? It could be a back three, you know. What do we think? What do you guys think? Are you seeing a back four for them, a back three? Because it looks like it could potentially be a back three with Estupinian. When Jason Steele gets the ball, the centre-backs kind of split and he stands between them, which makes me think it's a four with Estupinian at the back. But then there was a moment there where he was very deep, and Estupinian is noticeably deeper than whoever's at the right. So I would have thought it was a back four, but then maybe James Milner's playing... Maybe James Milner's playing as the sort of 10 role type thing, if it is a diamond. I don't know. I'm very interested. I'm very interested in what's going on here. Love a bit of James Milner, personally. Mason saying 3-0. We take that, Mason. We take that all day. So yeah, the Soufal rumour, like I said, Soufal suddenly his Instagram is ill. Good. Well, I choose to believe that regardless. And until it's confirmed by a good source otherwise. The rumor was that Soufal was unhappy. Okay. Soufal was unhappy at a contract thing, money and activations of extensions and all that sort of stuff. Him and his agent were unhappy. That was the rumor that was going around. But like I say, completely unconfirmed. Maybe it's like a 4-2-2-2. I don't know. I'm all kinds of intrigued by this. I'll tell you what. If I'm confused from this angle, God knows what it looks like to David Moyes on the touchline. I'm all kinds of back to me still. We have to just play our way, right? Mavropanos is on the ball currently. He's at right centre back. Ogbonna at left centre back, like we'd expect. It seems to be exactly as we would expect, to be fair. Pablo Fornals being the right winger, Ben Rama being the left winger, and Bowen up front. That's how it looks right now. We'll see. Nicely done by Alvarez. Just takes it around his man easy and then pings the ball. Looking forward for Jared Bowen in that central position. Couldn't quite find it. Headed down from Van Heck, but nice push there from Ben Johnson just to activate the press. Jared Bowen flying in on Jason Steele. Almost manages to get there and forces a big hoof clearance, and we win a header from it. We hit a throw in from it. Let's take it. I was going to say, didn't he start his career at Leeds, right? I'm not crazy. And then he moved to Villa. He went Leeds, Villa, City, Liverpool, Brighton. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. Might be wrong. Makes sense. Makes sense. The bidding war of 2024. I think he's signed. I think he's signed. But, you know, the bidding war of 2024. Let's make it a thing. Why not? Newcastle. Newcastle. Thank you. Yes. He was at Newcastle, wasn't he? Poor from me. Throwing from Brighton. Side Ben Rama goes flying in, tries to get his head onto it. Danny Welbeck controls it down. They look to try and switch the play out to the right-hand side. I'm annoyed I didn't get Newcastle there. I should have got Newcastle. Leeds, Newcastle, Villa, City. Thank you. I should have got this. I'm frustrated I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I'm frustrated I didn't. Thomas Souček with the interception and just sort of hoops it clear. Again, James Milner does sort of play. It does. What I'm confused by is where the hell Estupiñán is playing, because both of them feel very left mid. Although Milner's higher. Ben Johnson, good interception there. Long ball over to James Milner was nicely done, and Ben Johnson just there to collect it, knocks it out. Listen. I am currently under contract, is the way to word it. Although technically I am a freelance. Rooney is on the market. He got fired, didn't he? What a horrendously run club already. Madness. Complete madness. I'm kind of playing without contract, you know. I'm in a freelance role, just sort of, you know, popping up all over the shop. Brighton taking the ball back to Steele. Try to fire it in. Ogbonna collects that one nicely. Souček lays it out wide. They try to just reset there, Brighton, and it's not worked out for them. As Emerson charges forward, it's a nice run. Souček ends up electing to play it to Cy Benrahma, who's in that left side corner quadrant, trying to dribble his way into a crossing position. Looks very yeah, and he's eventually just run the ball out of play. He looked very unsure then, Benrahma. Never looked fully like he could get to balance with the ball at his feet. After the initial opportunity he had, and it didn't quite pull the trigger on the cross, and it was always a case of trying to find space to put it on one of his feet, and he just never really got there. Thankfully, Brighton's playing out from the back. It's quite poor at the moment, and we win another frame. When he's signing a contract, listen, if Gio wants to hire me full time, he can. You know, he knows where his bread's buttered. But I'm a very loyal person, so you know we move. I'm a very loyal person, so we move. Never a bad thing. AK from Sonny Morocco. Well, enjoy it, sir. Enjoy it. I hope you're doing well. Nice flick there from Jared Bowen. Even hits the 1-2 with Alvarez. This is a great opportunity. Bowen down the left-hand side looks to try and dink it across, and it's straight into the hands. Jason Steele can come out and collect it, but it was nice play there from us down the left-hand side. Quick passing. Jared Bowen finding himself wide on that left-hand side in a very Mikel Antonio way. 1-2 quickly played with Edson Alvarez and almost manages to get in, but doesn't quite work out. Nice play though. Very nice play. Listen. If TK wants me, he doesn't know where I'm at. He doesn't know I exist, but I'd go. You know? What's cottagers chat? That sounds wrong, doesn't it? We're moving on from that. We're doing well defensively so far, keeping them at bay. They're not finding any real space and joy in those central attacking areas. They're trying to. Gilmore fired it into Buonanotte. Tried to, again, just can't turn around. Estupiñán finds the ball. Out wide to Jamie Milner. Back to Estupiñán. Yeah, we're doing really well. Defensively, we're doing strongly. And they're not afraid, Brighton, here. They keep seemingly You know the horseshoe, right? We talk about it. You go up the right hand side, you cut back down, you go down and work the way all the way back up the right. They're not afraid to go further back than you usually would and go deeper and to try and just lure us out. It's going to be a free kick. Thank you. I think it was a bit weak on Pablo Fornas, but still, they're not afraid to go further back to their centre backs on the halfway line or even back to Jason Steele to try and lure us out of those positions, that deep sort of solid block that we've got. Because if they're not getting away through, then there's not really much point in just continuously bashing your head against the wall. So they're not afraid to do that. But so far, I think we're doing quite well, I'll be honest with you. I can imagine when I was in North London before, obviously coming to North Idaho, it was very, very windy. I went shopping earlier and got absolutely drenched. So it doesn't surprise me, Gav. It does sound like that. It does sound like... Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Some people would call me the Thomas Suchek to his Moyes, but you know, we move. I'd take that. I love Thomas, you know. The aeroplane spin? No, I'm here for it. This is what I'm saying, Trini. I can't quite figure it out. It feels like it could potentially, just because Estupinian is so deep and so wide on the left. It does feel like something's going on. I just don't know what. Benrahma, sorry, and Areola long ball forward. Benrahma taking goal kicks. Yeah, Charlie. Almost through there. Jared Bowen putting pressure on Jason Steele. Going very direct. It's very much the opposite, right, of each other. We're going about as direct as possible, and they're going about as indirect as possible at times. It feels like. Nice little flick away from Thomas Suchek there into the path of JWP. Jared Bowen tries to charge forward. Couldn't really find any space to find Pablo Fornas. Estupinian cuts it out, and Brighton managed to... I tell you what, they do well to keep control of the ball there. They've played a little bit of themselves into trouble. Pablo Fornas thinks about continuing to press, but with no one else there, just decides to drop deep. Probably the right decision. There was no one else to really join that press. It would have been Robert Snodgrass otherwise, but... Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, Jay. That seems the most likely to me. I agree. It's just Estupinian is so confusing to me. I mean, you could put James Milner, I guess, as the midfield three on the left-hand side. And then he's just, like, trying to provide that width, I guess, is where we're at. It's very confusing to me. It's very confusing. Yeah, not really. I mean, I'll give him credit where credit's due. Saeed Benrahma is deceptively quick at times. He's not fast. I'll say that. I'll say that for damn certain. He's not quick, but he's when we go on counterattacks. Pablo Fornals is there as well. But none of them have got. I don't think Bowen's got particularly much pace either. If I'm being honest, I think they're all probably about as whatever as they are. You know. It's annoying, but it is what it is. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, it's not necessarily a massive limitation. You can work around it, you know? Areola trying to play that ball out under pressure again. He's not very good at. He's just not very good at that long balls. Let's be real about it. It's probably a fair way of putting it. They're not going to win any sprinting races. You know what I mean? Like when there's a burst of speed, when there's a burst necessary when we're on a counter attack, they can do it. But you know, there's no Kudus in this team. You know, there's no. I don't know, pick any Alan St. Maxim, whoever else is a quick player. That's nice play from Brighton down the left-hand side. João Pedro controls it into the box, looks to dink it across, and thankfully it was over the top of everyone. Hinchelwood was there, but Benrahma just blocks it off. It gets played in again, looking for once more that sort of central penetration. Brighton can't find it, forced to play backwards again. There was a moment there where it looked dangerous, but that final ball from João Pedro just wasn't having it. Struggling here. Can't lie to you. I'm struggling. Langer is absolutely rapid. I love him so much. He's had a touch, but it wasn't effective, let's say, you know? It wasn't effective. Okay, we're back. And this is now very far off. There we go. There we go. It's back in time. Back in time. Back in time. No worries, FPB. FPB. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate that. Happy New Year. Hope you have a good one. Good luck in 2024. Appreciate you popping by regardless. Yeah, the exact thing happened to me as well. Exact thing happened to me. We're not as bad as I thought we were going to be. I think defensively we're still doing our thing. Defensively we're still doing all right. I have got concerns. Oh, Edson Alvarez does so well there again. James Milner almost managed to fly in. James Milner almost showing a bit of frustration there because Edson Alvarez just cut it out. The ball gets fired into him. It's a great run from James Milner, to be fair. And he wasn't ready for the pass, and Edson did brilliantly to cut it out. It's North Idaho, isn't it? You know, whenever the game isn't live on Sky Sports, whenever the game isn't live on TNT Sports or Amazon Prime, of which I have access to. Oh, Jesus Christ, shot deflects and Areola is thankfully matches to it. A huge deflection of a shot from Bonanate. He almost wrong foots Areola. It gets fired into Bonanate, who inside that sort of area, they've been in constantly, he just takes a shot and Areola almost manages. It's terribly scary, but he's equal to it in the end. It's not, it ends up being a nothingness, but yeah, scary at times. Yeah, so whenever it's on Sky Sports or not at all, I take a quick trip over to my holiday home in North Idaho, which of course looks exactly like my usual house, but that's just because Danny paid for it. You know, he wanted me to make me feel at home. Yeah, we're log cabins exactly next door. Me and Dean, we live next to each other. You know, it's one of those things. You know, just so we can watch the game. For example, with Pablo Fornals on the ball right now, played out wide to Jarabo. I saw someone asking, by the way, where I grew up. North London. I'm a North London boy. All over the shop. We moved very, very frequently, but always in North London. Bowen to Ben Rama. Wide to Benny, who cuts inside and tries to take a shot, but he completely drags it. It was Emerson, sorry. It looked like Benny. Emerson just dragging it with his weak foot. It was a nice idea, but yeah, it was just never working. But yeah, no. Moved all over the shop. Dad was from West London. Why he supported West Ham is anyone's guess, because no one else in the family did. It was just him. So, what's the town called? What's the town called? What's the town? It's a good question. It's a good question. What's the town called? Where was it? I found it before. It's like around here somewhere. Where was it? It's somewhere in this general area. That's what I'd say. I'll come up with the exact name. You know, I fly to the airport and Danny picks me up. You know, we go from there. You know. Hammerville. There you go. It's Hammerville. It's Hammerville. You know, that's what it is. Ogbonna playing it back to Areola under a little bit of pressure. It's Hammerville. Dean lives at 69. I live at 68. You know? Ben Rama on the ball. Emerson back to James Ward-Prowse. That's not a bad ball in. Thomas Souček was there. Couldn't quite figure it out. It's a nice play from us. The first time pass from Emerson into James Ward-Prowse was good, and Thomas Souček was there. He was standing well offside, but it was a nice idea. Well worked. Well worked. Just didn't quite work out. Oh, super. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here, bro. Hope you're doing well. Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, I'm also 69. 69B. I'm 69. I'm 69B, Dean 69A, you know? He has the nicer, the big one. Played out wide to Emerson, back to Ben Rama. Looking for something on that left-hand side at the moment. Besides the horseshoes began to be in full effect. That's a nice pass from Mavropanos. Oh, nice pass from Thomas Souček. Bowen's in here, hits it, save off the post. Oh, there was an offside, I think, in the middle of all of it anyway for Jarrod Bowen, but it was nicely played from us there. And Mavropanos, the instigator with the ball, we're sort of horseshoeing. And Mavropanos sees Thomas Souček just drifting into a beautiful space. Yeah, he was definitely offside, Jarrod Bowen. Drifting into a space amongst all of the Brighton shirts. And first time touch control from Thomas Souček is nice, and then just slots it through for Jarrod Bowen, who was just offside and forced to save from Steele. Again, he would have been offside anyway, but off the post. Steele can only push it onto the post. Nicely done. He did well there. Again, he keeps doing things this season where I go, didn't know he had it in him. And he put himself, I don't know if he was entirely certain what space he was moving into, but it was nice. And then just a quick turn and pass. I liked it. Danny Welbeck touch. Instantly ran out by Mavropanos. You'd love to see it. We can go again quickly. We haven't seen enough of Emerson yet in this game. Sort of growing into it a little bit. He's not been playing badly, but his influence has been growing a little bit over the last sort of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Getting a bit more into it. That's what you love to see. He's so good at what he does. Fornals finds Ben Rama. Fornals just drifting in from that right-hand side. James Ward-Prowse. Again, just collecting the ball and just being forced to dribble a little bit deep. Alvarez looking for that long ball over the top for Jarrod Bowen. He's almost through again here. Jarrod Bowen with the control. He can't. It's a bit wide. Tries to get the shot. I think it was Van Heck who ends up getting the block. Well, it's played into Said Ben Rama. Looking for the flick to Thomas Souček. Not quite there. James Ward-Prowse hits it. Good save from Jason Steele. It's going to be a corner. Nicely done. Nicely done. Looking to barrel our way forward here. And Said Ben Rama, it was an interesting idea to try and find to Thomas Souček. We would have had to do a spectacular header from there to make it work. But it ends up bouncing down to James Ward-Prowse, who hits it on the volley. And Jason Steele gets the block. I'm liking this so far. I'm not going to lie. I think we're doing well right now. I think we're doing well so far. This is going to be a corner. It is going to be James Ward-Prowse in swinger. I can't complain about it because last time it did work. It was a nice little routine. Mavropanos gets the goal. Will we see another one here? He runs into the exact same position. It's going towards him again as well, but the header away from Brighton. Lands at the feet of Said Ben Rama, who thought about stuff again. A little bit too long. James out to Ben Johnson. Bowen crosses it in. Mavropanos is there again, just over the top. Not a bad thing. Nice. I'll tell you what, we're doing well so far. We're doing well. Defensively, I think we're doing strong. Going forward, we're creating the better chances. When it's not bad, ball in and Ogbonna is there, and as is Mavropanos. Just a little bit underneath it. One step backwards, and that's one. Nice pressure. Brighton tried to play it out from the back. We've gotten better at pressing goalkeepers and defenders when they play it out from the back. I mean, when they're throwing high up the pitch, this is nice. This is nice. Happy. Yeah, Kudus has gone to Africa. Well, wasn't there a rumour that he's injured or something, and so he can't go yet? Ward-Prowse out wide to Said Ben Rama, looking to try and dribble his way in. Can't make it work. Back to Emerson. Should we slow down a little bit as we try to create a crossing opportunity? We've got James Ward-Prowse out there as well. Him, Emerson, and Ben Rama just passing it amongst themselves, trying to find that crossing position. It's a good tackle from Brighton. Put it onto pressure. Ben Rama just trying to force it a little bit, and Buonanotte can come away with the ball. It's a good counter-attacking opportunity, but he's by himself. He's got 3 West Ham shirts around him. Ben Johnson comes in. It's going to be a free kick. It's a clatter from Ben Johnson. He thinks it's no foul. I think it was probably a little bit harsh. and it was gonna have to have been a yellow card in that kind of position. Buonanotte gets the ball and he's coming away with it. There's 3 players around him. You've got James Ward-Prowse charging down. He's got Ben Johnson there alongside Edson Alvarez. It looked clean from Ben Johnson. Look at the second replay. I don't know. I can't tell. Either way, it was going to be a free kick from that position if something happened and Ben Johnson's the one who picks up a yellow, which again, if in that scenario was going to happen, but it looked a little bit clean, but I can't tell entirely. Yeah, I didn't. Wasn't it that he has a minor knock, so he hasn't joined up with them yet, but he is essentially, he should be with AFCON, he should be with Ghana with AFCON. Isn't that what's happened? I'm not entirely certain. I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely certain. It was a foul, not a yellow. If it was a foul, then I think it's probably a yellow just because of the scenario of the foul. Like, it would probably count as a professional foul, even though it's very light if it is a foul, if you know what I mean. It's going to be a free kick to Brighton either way. Pascal Gross standing over it. It's about 25 yards away from goal, maybe a little bit more than that. We've got the draft excluder out. Or it bubbles up, hook back across. It's going to be a goal kick. We'll take that. Free kick from Pascal Gross. Looks to try and just dink it over the top. Danny Welbeck heads it back across the box. Areola just tries to palm it away. And then eventually, I think it's Webster who tries to just hook it over the top of his head back in. We're playing a dangerous game now out from the back. We take the throw in, but we played a dangerous game out from the back, but yeah. It's very flappy, wasn't it? It was very flappy. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's an annoying day. It's an annoying day in North Idaho, I'll tell you that much. Buonanotte does well to win that back. Edson Alvarez just sliding in, cleanly wins it. Thomas Souček looks to play it quickly to Jared Bowen. He manages to just get there. Who somehow loses out a free kick on that. I'm not really sure how, but there we go. Van Heck, the one who goes down and wins it. Maybe it is. We could do sub bingo now if you wanted, Jeff. We didn't have time before the game. We could do sub bingo now. Sub bingo is, of course, the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first sub. You don't have to say the time. You don't have to say who it's going to be. Only the time is the thing that matters. However, I'll have our bench running across the bottom of the screen. There we go. Just in case you do want to name them. Let's get some sub bingos in, shall we? I'm going 69 as per. Danny Welbeck trying to force his way in. I'll go 69 as per, and I'll say it's gonna be me crossed into the box, headed away from Mavropanos. Nice solid header. I'm gonna say it'll be Fornals for Mubama. I'm gonna say it's 69 Fornals for Mubama. I'm going to be positive and say for some reason he's going to bring on Mubama and not Danny Ings. Don't know how, don't know why, but that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. I'm aware. Yeah, I know. Seeing people say, nice try, Benny. Wish I could see it. What is your problem? I'm aware, bro. There we go. No, it makes sense. You take one of them off. You put Jared Bowen back on the wing and you put Mubama up front. That's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm going for. Because you could do the same thing, right? Same thing. Kind of an attempted shot which went wide of 300 yards over the bar. Okay, fair. Sounds like something Ben wrong. It's not a bad ball from Pedro looking for Danny Welbeck. I've gone into the matrix. It's been cleared away from Angelo Ogbonna. You take it. You take it. Throw in João Pedro, passing it around with James Milner and Danny Welbeck. Good cut out there from Mavropanos. We need to see that exercise of defence. There's our sort of period of nice play and dominance is coming to an end a little bit, and or at least I say dominance of creating opportunities before someone pulls me up on possession stats. I'm aware of what the possession is. What I mean is we were creating all the good opportunities. That seems to have gone away a little bit. Long shot from range, I think, from Buonanotte goes flying over. Drying up a little bit, and at this point we need to show a little bit of that defensive solidity and qualities that we were showing earlier in the game, stopping Brighton from really creating anything. There's been a couple of times, a couple of little flash moments, nothing too good, but a couple of little flash moments in the last 5 minutes that we do well to stop, that we were doing well to stop earlier in the game. And we've shown in previous games that we can do it. From not a team too dissimilar to this. I mean, Ben Johnson for Soufal was the only real difference from the Arsenal game, for example. Ben Johnson, who seems to be not enjoying his movement right now. I think he's okay. He's going to come across and take the throw in, but took a little knock. Let's have a look at some stuff. Bingos. 71 minutes, says Jamie Hunt. It's going to be a goal kick. 71 minutes, Jamie Hunt. 69 minutes, Ings for Ben Rama. 81st minute, Ings for Benny. It's very snowy, Gav. Very snowy. Snowy in North Idaho. 69, yes. Listen, Dave knows. Dave understands the I was going to call it a bit. It's not a bit, it's logic. You know? 71 minutes. Hope it ain't Ings. I'm trying to be positive and saying it's going to be Mbama, Jeff, but I believe it could be both. We've seen both happen recently, but it's most likely to be Ings. 77 minutes, it says top. We'll turn up. 68 minutes says Gav. Scott is saying a 3-2 to Brighton. James Milner so far this season, then Ben Ramos so far. Listen, Jamie Milner's doing his thing. Okay, I love a bit of James. He's a good lad. Cornet for Ben Rama, the 65 says Ham. Good pressure. Ings coming on for 68 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of Ings chat and a lot of around the same time. And to be honest with you, I think it's probably quite accurate if we're being honest. No subs. There's PGADs. Again, not necessarily inaccurate. 79 minutes, 79 minutes even. Ings on for 4 now. Says very rancid. We'll take that for him. We've done all right with the pressure. I will say that. The pressing, when they do pass it around to the back a little bit too lackadaisically, we've done quite well on. Cornet for 4 nows, plans 78th minute, but it will end up being 83rd minute by the time he gets on. Suburban Sasquatch coming through with very accurate predictions, if we're being honest about it. Very accurate predictions. Jamie, good to see you, sir. How are you? Random question only you will understand. In your part of the US, are there Roadman food shops? Yeah. You'd be surprised, but Bossman's here as well, you know? I would go as far, Jamie, as to say it looks exactly like the one from the usual one I go to. But for some reason, he's here as well. It's crazy how that works. But yeah, no. They're about, you know. 4 wings chips, in, out, no messing, you know. Both teams have had 4 shots, by the way. This is what I mean. So, like, we've done. They've had 66% possession. We've had more touches inside their box, and we've had the same amount of shots. You know, it's not going badly at all. Pablo Fornals once more on the wide on the right-hand side, looking to try and cross it in. Pablo, just a little bit of a miss pass there. Unfortunate because it was a nice opportunity. He's trying to chase it down, but opportunity lost. Although the pressure from him, Bowen and Alvarez was nice. Almost works out. It's going to be a goal kick. Poor pass there from Pablo. Almost managed to work it out. Close. Looking a little bit better. I tell you what, it's not. Look, it's not ideal, and I think obviously we would. I think it's a very easy, obvious thing to say that we would look better with Paquetá and Kudus in the team. Obviously, very, very obviously. having said that, we're doing okay, and we're not creating opportunities. I'm surprised a little bit by how we're doing. It's probably helped out massively by the fact this is far from Brighton's first choice 11 as well. Let's not beat around the bush with that, but we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Estupinian plays it into Billy Gilmore, trying to work their way up this right-hand side, Brighton. Yeah. Just behind your name down there. I can't. Wait, bend the front wall. Bend it. Oh, I can't do it. It's there, yeah. It's there. Amongst the other celebrations somewhere as well. In the kitchen somewhere. He was listening. Always did turn up in the chat every so often, so, you know, it wouldn't be surprised me if he's just getting a little bit of last-minute tactical nous on. A big hook away from Johnson. Is that Bowen who's still down? It is. Seems to have got back up, thankfully, but doing the usual. I've gone down. I've not won a free kick. I'm just going to give it a minute. Pinged across from Billy Gilmore. Controlled. Hinshelwood. It does feel like a free at the back, doesn't it? Milner plays it into the path of Welbeck. Out wide to João Pedro. They're really focusing down this right-hand side for some reason, Brighton. Oh, that's not a bad ball from Milner at all. And the header is brilliant. And thankfully, it's directly at Areola. That was such a good opportunity created out of nowhere for Brighton. Really focusing heavily down this right-hand side. Oh, sorry, down this left-hand side. All their concentrations. And then James Milner in that half space from deep. Nice curved inward angled cross. And Pascal Gross runs onto the head of it. Gets onto it with his head. And thankfully, it was directly at Areola, who I'm not sure knew much about it. Brilliantly cut out there from Palace. I'm not sure knew much about it. The pass was poor, but the cut out was brilliant. Looking for the 1-2 there. Estupinian around the back of Ben Johnson. He's not really got too far forward. The cross, thankfully, is poor. He's not got too far forward, Estupinian. That's poor from Billy Gilmore. Go, Saeed. Go. Good. Plays it early to Jared Bowen. We take that. Jared, take on your man. They're coming back. We're getting players forward, but there's no real pace to it. We decide to slow it down and try and build the opportunity instead. Maybe could have gone a little bit better. I do love Edson. He is a beautiful man. No, he's obviously not. But do I like him more? Don't know. I do love Edson though. I can't lie. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. Hey. I expect that's going to happen 3 more times. Okay. We're on the ball, passing it around, getting close to half-time. Fired in from Ben Rama, can't quite get. There's no head there. Don't like the slow build-up. Hinshelwood manages to dribble past Ben Rama. The crossing is blocked by Edson Alvarez. Does very well. Just as per. Yeah, the build-up's a bit too slow for me. I'm not vibing the build-up massively. I feel like but it is difficult because obviously it's difficult when you've only got Bowen up there. If we had Bowen and we had Kudus and whatnot, we could really put it on them. Ben Rama's not bad in that sense, but it just makes it very difficult to counter. A huge ball from Mariola's just instant. Brighton have the ball. It's just those moments where we just want to be quicker in transition. We're just a bit too slow. Nicely played there. Pablo Fornal's looking for that direct pass over the top. He wins the free kick. We'll take that because he was going to lose it, if we're being honest. One minute of stoppage time for this first half. 1 minute of stoppage time. Yeah, there just needs to be that little step up in pace. I 100% agree. Yeah. I mean, again, we're playing. Look, we're playing our second and third choice left winger. One of them's not even playing on the left. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter what was going to happen, at least one player was going to be out of position today in those sort of positions, and so it's not ideal. It's far from ideal. James Ward-Prowse is going to take this one. Free kick. Look towards Emerson. It's Emerson first time puts it back across the box, and there was just numbers there and no one able to get onto the end of it. Brighton boot it clear. I think the whistle might come before we're able to create anything. There was a moment there, very, very close moment. Big boot forward. Thomas Souček can't win the header on that one. And there is the half-time whistle. Edson Mavropanos head in his hands. We're just looking at that replay one more time. James Ward-Prowse whipped it in. Emerson at the back post just plays it across first time, and Mavropanos was there. Bowen was there. Fornals was there. Sorry, Edson was there, not Fornals. But Mavropanos was the closest and just couldn't get the connection on it. And there is the half-time whistle. 0-0 at half-time. Yeah. How do we sum that up? I feel like... How do I sum this up? If I talk emotionally first, the emotional response from me is one of sort of acceptance, right? Because realistically, we've been dealt a bad hand today with Paquetá and with Kudus and with Sufal, although that's less impactful with Aged and with Zuma. Look, we don't have the options. We don't have the cards in our hand to really play something smart and well. So I think, given that, I think we're doing all right. I don't think either side deserved to be leading at all. I don't think either side deserved to be leading. I think we're defending a lot better than they're defending. You can tell that we're missing our informed best forwards. You know, we're playing Pablo Fornals out of position on the right wing today. Saiba and Ram on the other side. It's not like any of these players are doing particularly badly. I think we're doing all right. And actually, if I'm being honest, we've created more and better than I would have suspected we would have if you showed me that lineup before the game. And we've had some good opportunities. We've had some very strong opportunities. And there was a long time in that half where Brighton basically had no opportunities, and we were doing much better in that sense. And we were really able to put them. We were really able to make something happen with it. But I don't think either side deserved to be leading. And I don't think it becomes a difficult one to see where the goals are going to come from. Like I said, both teams have created opportunities. Theirs have been fewer, but also have been probably stronger. We've had probably more plentiful opportunities, but equally, a lot of those are coming from places you would expect, set pieces, Mavropanos getting in there, stuff like that. We've got they're definitely to be got at. I will say that there are 100% definitely to be got at. And in a game where our defense, I think, for large portions of that first half was doing really well, I would probably say for 30 to 35 minutes, I thought our defense was doing really well, all told. Not in one big chunk, in probably 2 or 3 smaller chunks, but I think in general, our defense has been doing really well. Given the fact they're there to be got at, I can't exactly write us off, because all it would take is one opportunity. And again, I really don't think their defense is that good. But I also don't think we have the players on the pitch right now to probably take advantage of it full time. I think if you're asking me, it's a 1-0 game, I 100% agree with you, Justin. I 100% agree with you. I think for me, this is probably, Slim's probably talking what I would say. I'd like to see Bowen on the right, Fornals on the left, Mubama up top is probably where I would be as well. I think we need a... I think if you put more traditional striker on, in terms of, it would have to be Mubama. It couldn't really be Danny Ings because of the way he plays. It would have to be Mubama, someone who's going to be able to push that back line around and movement just to get them out of position and to have them push back, giving that space to Jared Bowen, who would see success on that right-hand side if we could get him the ball more consistently. And they have really focused, by the way, Brian. They've been focusing very heavily, it feels like, on the left-hand side, our right. Then we're going to be able to get the ball to Jared Bowen probably pretty quickly, and we'd be able to counter-attack more effectively, we'd be able to get forward more effectively. In that sense, I don't really mind who stays on the left-hand side, be it Fornals or be it Ben Rama. Personally, I'd like Fornals more, but at the same time, Ben Rama, I don't know, it just is what it is. It'd probably be Fornals. But I think that's how you do it. I think that's probably how you do it, because they are 1000% there to be got at today. You can't tell me they're not. I don't think their defense is that great. They've looked disorganized. They've looked susceptible to pressing, which is something they don't usually look like. Again, they've got big injuries in those areas, but when they have dared to play out from the back and we've dared to press them, we forced them into some awkward positions sometimes. And I think if we could do that a little bit more with a better striker on the pitch, Bowen in his natural position, either Fornals or Ben Rama in their natural position, I really do think this game's there for the taking. But it takes a little bit of something from us. It takes a little bit of something else. They do have a lot of players out. CM. I was talking to Joe from the Album Assess podcast on channel earlier. Sorry, not earlier today, a couple of days ago, and he was saying the exact same thing. And if you look at their injury hit records this season, it's been quite all over the place. I think he's done well, relatively, Jack. I like Ben Johnson a lot. I really want him to succeed. I think he's done relatively well. He's not set the world on fire, and I feel like there's times where we get the ball and we're going forward where I want him to be like, I want him to just get that little bit further forward. When Pablo sort of drifts inside, he hits him on the overlap and gives us that little bit of an option. But I think he's done pretty well again today. I thought he did really well against Liverpool, and I think today is another one of those performances, personally. Maybe not as good as Liverpool yet, but I am happy with his performance. And if whatever's happening with Soufal, regardless, it's a great opportunity for Ben Johnson to put his name back on the team sheet, because he hasn't even been getting into the squad for a lot of time. So I'm happy with that. If ink comes on, I'm turning it off. I don't think that's unfair, Ruben, if I'm being honest. I also would suspect I would suggest you get the controller ready, because it's likely. They have better attacking players on the pitch, says Peter. I don't disagree with you, Peter. Don't disagree with you. Pedro and Danny Welbeck's movement's pretty good. Again, they're really focusing down on that left-hand side, which is interesting to me, which means Ben Johnson's got a lot to do. Not shocked. Benny more likely to score. Fornals more safe defensively. Yeah, and I think Fornals is better in transition. I think Fornals may be too direct in transition, but I do feel like, especially if you had Bowen on the right, potentially just having having Fornals on the pitch when he gets the ball, doesn't matter how deep he is or whatever, and like you say, he's better defensively, he will just ping these through, he will try and force the issue with through balls and getting the ball going quickly, which I think is a good thing, especially where today I thought we've been a bit too slow. I think there have been a lot of moments where our build-up play has taken a bit too long, we've gotten into decent areas and then we've sort of played it around a little bit, whereas if we just went for it, which is what Pablo Fornals brings, Jack calls him an accelerator, and I 100% agree with that. My man just goes for it. I feel like that's probably the better way to go around it, although I'd understand keeping Ben Rama on, but I do think that's the best way of going around it. I feel we are to be got at 2. I feel like we can press the last 20, not yet. Don't get me wrong, I feel like potentially, but I think defensively we're significantly better than they are. I will say that. I think defensively, when we're doing well, we look very comfortable in defence and they couldn't really do anything. As the half went on, they got a little bit more joy and were starting to create more. That header, for example, that I think we're quite fortunate didn't end up going into the net, the Pascal Gross header. Opportunities like that have shown we are susceptible to be got at. But I think we're more comfortable. Ryan saying Ben Johnson was surprisingly brilliant in that first half. I just want him to succeed, man. I just want him to succeed. Pickles, Mr. Pickles, good to see you, sir. It's okay, all things considered. I think Brighton back line looks like it can be got at. We look solid again defensively, but lack quality on the left side. Bowen looks sharp, and our boy Declan Alvarez. Alvarez is having another good game. Edson is having another very good game. Another man I love Edson Alvarez. I think he's doing really well today. There's some opportunities where they've been there and he's just cutting them out because he's just good. Not the player he was, but he tries and plays like he wants to do the best no matter where. Moyes sticks on the pitch. Yeah, that's my vibe with Pablo. I assume you're talking about Pablo, and that's my vibe as well. I'll be honest with you. That's my vibe. Or it could be about Ben Johnson, which I also agree with, to be honest. James saying Fornals has been pony again. Yeah, it's not right hand side. It's just not his forte at all. It's just not his forte at all. All part of the plan, says Dick Turpin. Johnson's looked good, to be fair. Yellow was needed in that moment. Yeah, I think he gets a yellow. It wasn't a big foul, but it's not a professional foul, which I think is why he gets a yellow card. He does the right thing, probably. I mean, there was enough players around to maybe think we would have done better with it, but you can't really trust that, can you? Born to get busy, saying that, yeah, Johnson was decent, IMO. Johnson has been good. Moyes to convert him to striker. Listen, why not? He's played him at left back. Why not? So why not? Fornals is very poor. He keeps getting in the way. There was that one moment, especially down the right hand side, where his pass is just all over. His pass was just whack. Yeah, Fornals on the right has never been my favourite thing in the world, to be honest. Ian is saying no creative player that can unlock their defence. Fornals must come off, Cornet up front and Bowen on the right. Otherwise, if they score, they will park the bus. I don't think they'll park the bus. I think we saw that against Tottenham, for example. They ended up scoring 4. I don't think Brighton really have it in them to park the bus. I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. But yeah, I don't think they park the bus. I would say that, but I don't necessarily disagree with your prognosis, Ian. Snazzy is saying this is the game where I ask why would anyone want to watch this type of football for 3 more years. I think we've done all right today, Snazzy. I can't lie to you. Because it works. I mean, there's lots of reasons. We won't get into it now because let's be real. You're not going to solve David Moyes. We're not going to solve David Moyes here in the YouTube Hamish chat live watch along. There are more places to discuss that, but yeah. Jack saying Ben impressed him, 100% effort. That's one thing I do like about him. And I liked what he did against Liverpool. I'm going to stop talking about Ben Johnson because I will just go on forever. He can't take on a defender like Soufal. He doesn't get as far forward as Soufal. That's my big thing. I wish he just pushed that a little bit more. JB saying Johnson and Dinos being decent, not seen enough of Emerson. Yeah, I want to see Emerson get more into the game. I agree with you. I think Mavropanos has done well. The big Bowen thing where he's offside, his pass into Thomas Souček's really nice. I think he's doing good. But yeah, I want to see Emerson get more involved. We haven't seen his influence as much as we usually do. Because he can be, when he's on his thing, he can be incredibly effective. And that's one of the big things I think we're missing today. We just haven't seen that influence enough, which is really what I want. It's really what I want. We don't need Alvarez and Souček. Put on Mubama for Souček and then rejig the attack. I would disagree pretty heavily. I would disagree very heavily, in fact. I think when we've seen them get opportunities, it's been... They tend to get opportunities just outside the area. That makes Alvarez and, of course, Souček very important. I think when you see Souček come off, what you see is James Ward-Prowse then take up the position as a double pivot. And frankly, anyone apart from Thomas Souček in that double pivot alongside Alvarez. First of all, Alvarez is non-negotiable, right? We all know this. We can't win without Edson Alvarez in the team. And then who you put alongside him is very important. And no one has shown the capability of Thomas Souček defensively. And actually, no matter who we've seen there, it's gone very poorly for us. So I think Thomas Souček has to stay on because of that. I see what you're saying, but I disagree. So, I also think that you would just make us weaker in that area and then they just start playing through us, especially when you have 2 up front. It becomes quite a scary prospect because our centre-backs naturally, especially when one of them is Ogbonna, are going to stand off. They're going to sit a bit deeper. You know what I mean? Would take 4 points off them this season. Yeah, a draw would not be bad. I saw a lot of people saying that as well, Ian. I don't disagree with you. A draw would be not bad. Samira saying Fornals takes too long to make a decision. One period he had time to cross but took too long. Yeah, it's that right hand side. I like it when he's deeper and he's on the left and he just hits it first time. He just got pat goes. I don't disagree with you because I think Ben Rama has a similar problem on the other side. Ruben saying I hope Moyes wasn't writing down Ings on in his notepad. Like I say, prepare yourselves because I don't think it will happen at halftime. He's not a halftime manager, David Moyes, but I would be shocked if I didn't see it. I'd be shocked if I didn't see it. What I would say, we need Luke. Listen, I don't watch the darts, right? I see like the highlights when they come on Twitter. I'm seeing this kid non-stop. Not convinced he's the age that he's meant to be, by the way. but he's just destroying all of those blokes that I recognise usually. So I can recognise game. I recognise game. As if you do recognise game, make sure to subscribe to Ham's Chat if you haven't already. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us at halftime. We'll of course be live throughout the entire second half as well, and Gonzo will be live with his full match review on this very channel straight after this. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on anything, and then like the video as well, because it helps us out massively. It means that when people type in, West Ham, Brighton, or whatever, we jump to the top of it. It means that, for example, when the other night when Mark Goldbridge was looking up watchalongs, for example, in the Liverpool match, he clicks on ours and said, "I looks like Brian May." That's because you lovely people likes the video, and so we're at the top. So if you can, it helps us out massively. But like I say, even if you're just here for half time, and when the second half gets underway in a few minutes, we will be, of course, live at full time, Gonzo, with a full live match review in which we would love you to get involved with. But the second half is going to be kicking off very, very soon. Let's see. The chat is jumping all over the shop, so let's just go to the bottom, because I can't tell where the hell it's at right now. I'm trying to look as the players. All the players are sort of coming back out. Derby's retaking his seat. Don't think there's been any subs for him. Equally, I don't think there's been any subs for us, although we'll see. I'm not digging out any of the French players that are not included enough to have any confidence. I think that's a fair point. I think it's a fair point, Trini, to be fair. We're going to be the team to kick off in the second half. And there we are. Deploy the boys. It's time to run two things. Come on, you Irons. Second half underway. I think he was just saying there was no change at halftime for either side. I didn't see any for Brighton, and I can't see any for West Ham. Not that I expected us to be any, if we're being perfectly honest about it. It's going to be a goal kick to Brighton. Early pressure from Jarrod Bowen. Be interested to see how long David Moyes does leave it. I never ever expect him to do anything at halftime ever, just because it's not his vibe. But we have seen him sort of switch around Jarrod Bowen at time when we have Kudus as well on the pitch, putting Kudus up front instead of Bowen and moving him out wide. And we've seen him do bits and pieces, so there is something there he could do. I don't suspect he will, but there is something there he could do. We'll see. Emerson on the ball again. We didn't see enough of him in the first half. Charging forward down the left-hand side. Finds Said Benrahma. Back to James Ward-Prowse. And again, just a little bit of pressure on us, and we end up just... That's one of the things that separates us between us and Brighton, right? When we have possession of the ball, we are just that little bit conservative, where just that just a little bit of pressure, and we instantly try to play it safely back. Areola, can we just stop Areola from kicking along, because he's not very good at it? I love Areola. I really like him. I think the reflexes are incredible. I love his confidence when he's on the ball, playing it around short, but playing it long is a problem. Most goals by subs this season. Brighton with 12. 4 more than Arsenal, Liverpool, and Wolves with 8. Scary. Just hope we keep our place at 6. It'll be huge for us, Mika. I don't know if we do we keep our place if we lose. I don't know how the table is working currently. Don't know how the table is working currently. Play forward, header down from Webster to Steele. Ends up playing it out from the back. What's the point of having players on the bench you won't use? I mean, that's the argument with Tilo Kehrer going, right? Even though it's just a loan and not being sold instantaneously. A little bit of pressure there, and he play out from the back. He was never going to get used, so what's the point of keeping him, sort of thing, you know? Ralph, it's a bit... yes, but I'm saying why he passes it backwards. I get it. Look, I understand, right? I get it. I understand I understand what I'm saying is we pass it backwards because we're quite a conservative team, and instead of like when we get put under pressure in positions, even when we're as far up as near their area, instead of being able to have like people in lots of different positions where we can sort of pass it around, we end up going backwards conservatively. You can say that's pass it backwards. I've just said we pass it backwards. I was just saying why we pass it backwards. You know, it's not a sugarcoating. It's just saying why something happens. You know, something happens. Where did that accent come from, Charlie? Where did that accent come from? I don't know. We'll be 7th on goal difference if we lose both from 33 points. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Hope you're doing well. If you check my Twitter feed and scroll, you might have to scroll down a bit. There was some Channel 4 stuff about, some Channel 4 news programs about Nicholas and stuff, and that I would highly recommend you go check out. Make yourselves aware of. So I hope you're well, Nicholas. But good, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Because I do not pay, I've not been paying attention to the table. Yeah, I like Kera, but he's just not done well enough when he's played. I don't think he suits us really. I like the player. I think he'll go and do well elsewhere. I'm looking forward to seeing him go and succeed somewhere. But yeah, I don't think it's well cut out there from Emerson. I don't think he suits us, unfortunately. Cornet, I think he suits us. I just think he's been crap since he's come back, really. I think he started, when he came back from injury originally, I was really excited and he was looking good, and he's just slowly got worse and worse and worse. And this season he's had like a ridiculously small amount of time on the pitch. Which is a shame because I think he does suit the system, but clearly for whatever reason, he's just not the one. And we'll have to see if he eventually gets a move to another place, whether he still has it, whether the injury's just completely screwed him. We'll have to have a look. Brighton trying to play it through the centre. Danny Welbeck ends up converting it out wide to Pascal Gross. Sorry, it's Hinchelwood, it's not Pascal Gross. They end up going backwards. Playing it around, passing it backwards. Webster into the path of Estupinian. It is interesting. I don't get what they're doing with Estupinian. Played it forward. The Hinchelwood out wide on the right. Pascal Gross is alongside him. A little bit of miscommunication, but Gross has managed to step on it quickly before Ben Rama can get there, and they're forced all the way back. I think Estupinian is playing as a left back. I think what he's doing is he's coming in centrally as like an inverted fullback to match alongside Gilmore and whoever their right back would be, I guess. Bounces into the hands of Areola. Thank you very much. We'll take that. And so when they play the ball around, you have your two centre backs. Potentially with you have your two centre backs in Webster and Van Heck, and then you have splitting them. Well, that's a nice ball forward to Jared Bowen, trying to come forward with it. And Rama's out there. He was under a lot of pressure there, Jared Bowen, and there were a couple of opportunities where he maybe could have let the ball go and doesn't quite manage to find it, and the ball across his paw. But yeah, they split the centre backs. You have sometimes Jason Steele come in to split Steele and Van Heck. You then have Estupinian sort of come in to sit alongside Billy Gilmore, along with whoever is on the right, who I don't know. I think Pascal Gross maybe gets in there. Pascal Gross comes across, so you sort of have a 3-and-3 kind of thing going on. And then Hinchelwood and James Milner, who are sort of on either side, show that width. And then you have the sort of two up front. It's interesting. I'll say that much. They're playing out wide to Hinchelwood there, tries to cross it. It's a good block from Emerson. He's screaming for a handball, but it looked like a good block for me from Emerson. We'll see it on the replay, I'm sure, but Emerson diving in to try and slide tackle that one as a big block and manages it. Souček, nice first time pass there into the path of Pablo Fornals. Looking for options. He has Ben Johnson on the overlap. There he is. He's got Jared Bowen in the centre alongside Thomas Souček. Ben Johnson tries to run it to line, pulls it across. Jared Bowen controlling the area. Just a little bit. It was close there, but no cigar. And Brighton tried to come forward just with João Pedro. That's not a bad ball. Emerson's there to try and block it. It stops Buonanotte from getting further forward. He does well to just keep him going, and he runs him out to the corner, and then Brighton starts to rework it again. Gilmore looks to try and whip in a ball over the top towards Hinchelwood. Looking for that deep cross similar to what Pascal Gross got on the end of in the first half with the header. Doesn't quite work out. I'll tell you what, it's close to handball. It looks like it hits him here. Looks like it hits him on the side here. I'm gonna run a poll in chat, right? I usually wouldn't do this, but I'm just intrigued. Would you take a point? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Because I personally would take a point. Do I think it's the best thing? No, but I would take a point. But I'm intrigued what you lot think. And I want to get like a more accurate figure. That's not a bad ball into Buonanotte. Danny Welbeck hits it. Good save from Areola. Just gets down quickly, palms it away. Another opportunity comes flying over the top there from Brighton. Just a big boot from Jamie Milner goes flying over the top. I'm interested whether or not you take a point. Again, Brighton just getting a little bit into that area. Not to drive the point home, but again, James Ward-Prowse being the deeper out of the two in that area of him and Thomas Souček. Alongside Alvarez, and all of a sudden there's just a huge gap in which Brighton just walk into and take a shot from, and we're lining up. We're lining up. Pointers for cowards. Love the energy. Disagree with the statement, but I love the energy. You lot sound like Moyes. Ralph, chill out. It's okay. He's not here. He can't attack you. It's all right, Maggie. You know what I mean? It's just interesting whether or not you take a point. That's all. You can't win every single game. Here's my logic for the point. I'd say that right here. Let me defend my logic a little bit. Here's the logic I'd say. Right. Brighton are a huge bogey team for us, and they're a team who, despite their injuries, are doing really well. Really well. Have got through top of their group in Europe, are still in 8th. They're only two points behind. They're only 2 places behind us, and I don't know how many points. I think it's like 4 or something. They've done really well this year despite their injury crisis, and they're a team who before the season we would have died for a point. We beat them earlier on the season. Take a point here, go undefeated against them, keeps us in a good strong position where we get a point while working hard with none of our best players, attacking players. That's the logic. I'm not saying I'm not Sam Allardyce. Respect the point. It's important. Blah 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 blah. It's not negative. It's not negative sentiment. No, do you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, but I'm not being negative about it. I'm just being like realistically. That's not a bad result for us. It's not a bad result for us. It's not a beautiful result. I would obviously rather 3 points. I would rather 3 points in every single game. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm just intrigued in general. You know, good tackle there from James Ward-Prowse. Tell you what, the poll is quite close. If you voted in it, you'll see the poll's quite close. It's about as close as I would expect it. This is sort of why I wanted to run the poll, because I was interested, because the chat, that's not a bad pass at all. Emerson in a really nice position, looks to fire it across. James Ward-Prowse just pulls out a little bit. He would have had it, to be fair, he would have had to strike it, and it would have been just an absolute thunderbolt. So I understand why he didn't, but it was close. Don B saying, a point is not good enough for me with the home team and they're riddled with injuries. We may be missing our big guns, but we should still have enough to take the win. E. Davis is saying, sorry, but we've been very unimpressive. Moyes is Moyes the fan. I'm grateful for a draw. David, it's got nothing to do with Moyes, my G. It's got nothing to do with Moyes. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't have anything to do with him. You know what I mean? He sometimes is in the chat. He's not ran up. I should put a full team across the thing. What goes on? Ralph saying David hit the nail on the head. Let's have a look at David's comment. Hollywood saying, why do we have the divine right to beat anyone at home all of a sudden? We don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. I'll try to find this David comment. Okay, we're back. Shot straight into the hands of Jason still. David. Oh, that's the Moyes the fan thing. No, okay, right, I disagree with that. There was another one I saw people agreeing with. Listen, if we get enough bell calls, we're getting close. Nicholas saying, I think we can win, so I don't want a point. That's fair point. Dean was saying, yes, not what I prefer. Not what I prefer after the 2 good wins. But with this team and the fact they've done absolutely nothing against us yet, I still feel like we could sneak a 1-0, but a point and stay in the top 6. João Pedro straight into the hands of Areola. Thank you very much. Okay, we've seen enough bell askers. Let's end the poll and see what the final one is on that. We've got enough for bells, so we'll go with that. 55% said yes, and 44% said no. So we'll say 45. We'll make it 55-45. It's about as close as I would have thought it would be. It's about as close as I thought it would be. Right, let's do bell poll. The thing is, right, when I ask that question, when I say I would take a point, I would obviously rather we win. I feel like that's potentially too obvious to say. Maybe not. I would obviously prefer we win. It's just whether or not we would take it or not. That's the question. But bell poll is in chat. I'll give it until 61. 61. A good 90 seconds-ish. For whom the bell polls. Yes, Pegads. Yes. Love that. Love that. You can say that about anything, you know what I mean? Listen, every important thing comes out 50-50, right? And whatever side you're on, the other 50% are wrong. So we move. Life doesn't need to be aggro, you know what I mean? Trying to play the ball forward. I'm going through a period of instability on the NIITS. Emerson trying to get it in there. He's not. I want to see more of Emerson. We just haven't really been able to. It just shows how important Paquetá is on the left-hand side, really, if we're being honest about it. That Emerson, we're just not getting enough of that Emerson goodness. Here he is again. Crossing deflects outwards. I looked to chat because I thought you might be ahead. I see Hardy missed that. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Benrahma collects the ball on an onside position, plays it in. Oh, it was a glorious opportunity and it just doesn't fall correctly. Oh, he gets the touch as well. Thomas Souček gets the touch as well and just can't convert. I think it was Thomas Souček. Flipping heck. That was so close. Listen, always a yes. I'll put the poll in a second. Hang on. Always a yes. Let's end this poll. It's looking like a resounding yes, but 73% said yes, 26% say no. Big. Next poll while I get that. Big ball forward. That's not bad running there from Jared Bowen. I tell you what, manages to win a corner beautifully. Well done. Well played, Jared Bowen. Should Dean finish the quality streets? We're here now. We're in poll central. Should Dean finish the quality streets? Dean pick a minute. And that's where we'll pick a minute, and that's where we'll end the poll when this is at that minute. Say this, Dean. So far, it's very heavily in favour of yes. Here comes a corner. I'll go grab the belt after this. All the big men are in. Alvarez, Mavropanos, Angelo Ogbono's big, beautiful dome. Whipped in. Say it straight into the hands of Jason still. 63. Okay, when I come back from the I will end the poll. But let me go and grab this baby belt. right. It was 3. No, 3 baby bells. That's correct. I feel vindicated and a genius. There you go. Bell, little festive bell. And we'll end the other poll while we're here. Should Dean finish the quality streets? Ball comes across. Pascal Gross, that's a nice control. Plays it back across. It's flicked up off the heel of Mavropanos and bounces out wide. Brighton maintain possession of the ball. Wide on the left-hand side. Ben Johnson stops there from being an easy cross into the box. Little deflection and then hoofed away. Dean, you should finish the quality street. 75% of people said yes and 24% said no. So, Dean, get him down, you lad. Get him down, you. And I wish you luck. Got to be done, no choice. Strongly agree, Derek. Strongly agree. I think I just heard Evan Ferguson's going to come on for Welbeck. Ben Rama lost the ball out. Ben Rama's playing a very dangerous game right now. Lost the ball in a really awkward position to Hinshelwood. I think it was Souček getting involved, just nipping the ball away, and then Ben Rama instantly loses it out in another dangerous position. Stupinian finds Welbeck. Wide to João Pedro. Plays it across. Header comes back across from Brighton, and thankfully no one was there. And it's powered clear from Edson Alvarez. But it was close. It was close again. They're really focusing down that side, like really heavily. Trying the overload on the left-hand side. Trying to overload the left-hand side, giving the space over onto the right-hand side, and then playing those quick early crosses across. Nice. Poor pass from Thomas Souček, but Pablo Fornals manages to win it. Get there first and play it into the path. This is really nicely done. Jared Bowen tries to charge his way and he tries to do it all himself. Thomas Souček was alongside him. He won the ball instantaneously. He won the ball in the first instance. And then the poor pass, but we still had the opportunity there. Maybe should have pulled the trigger on finding Thomas Souček just to allow it. But instead he tries to force the issue. We do get a throw in. It's going to be another long one. This time from Mavropanos. Never seen a Mavropanos long throw. So we'll see how these ones go. See these ones go. Let's make sure this is just the exact right time. Back there. Yeah, Evan Ferguson is coming on now for Danny Welbeck, as the commentator said. Ferguson. I'd be interested to see how this affects their play. For example, will he still be pulling as left as Danny Welbeck has been doing? Let's see. Big. You gotta respect it. 100%. I 100% agree with you, E. 100% agree with you, E. Davis. I want that. I want that badly. I don't think it will happen. I think if any striker's coming on, it'll be Danny Ings. We all know that, and we'll all be sad. But I 100% agree with you. Get Mubama on. Get Bowen out on that right hand side. Big agreements on that. Okay, yeah, my time's about accurate. So I'm not too far off. I'm still putting, but I'm not too far off. Big bucket 2 slides. Listen. I have been eating. Probably should admit to this. I have been eating dinosaur poo from the Natural History Museum, which is something else I got for Christmas. Which they're various different ones. This is honeycomb. Ball across. First time for Milner, lays it in. Deflects off João Pedro. Easily cleared away. They still continue to have the ball. Pascal Gross just on the edge of it. That one's honeycomb. That one are like colas. They're like cola sweets type things. And the other one was milk chocolate raisins, but I've already eaten all those. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Buonanotte, that's a great... Oh, it's Ferguson! That was really well done from Evan Ferguson. I thought it was Buonanotte for a second, but the control from him was really nice. Just flicks it over one side to avoid the tackle and then shoots with, and then hits it with the other, shoots it with the other. Nicely done around Edson Alvarez. The only way you can really get him is with a piece of genius like that. Really well done from Evan Ferguson. If that ended up in the back of the net, that would have been an absolute beauty of a goal, but he drags it just wide, thankfully for us. I think he, to be fair, I think Areola would have had that covered, but it was really nicely worked. Most goals by teenagers in 2023. Brighton have the most with 19. Second, Man United with 5. Then Burnley with 4. Interesting. That is a stat. I assume all of those are Evan Ferguson. I assume all of them. It's very my sort of stupidity. Dinosaur poo from the Natural History Museum? Big. Big. When I unwrapped that, I'll tell you what. Good times. Good times. We're really starting to struggle now in this half. We're really starting to struggle. They're not creating huge amounts more, but our threat has completely disappeared. Our threat has completely disappeared. We're not creating enough. Well, we're not creating at all. I really agree with what E. Davis said. I think you've got to get Jarrod Bowen on the right-hand side. And I feel like Mubama's... I think he just said Mubama's coming on. I don't want to get too excited. Oh, not banned into the box, but Ari collects it. I think I just heard... Mubama's coming on. We'll see. But I really strongly believe that Mubama should come on and Jarrod Bowen should move out to the right-hand side. And I personally would take off Ben Rama and put Fornals on the left-hand side. But I'll take either way because I think realistically we're winning the game from that right-hand side regardless. So I think realistically I don't really mind which one ends up staying on. I would rather keep on Fornals for the defensive and for the quick transitions. But we'll see. I think that's what I heard. I'm trying to... The NIITS is just giving me problems right now. So I'm trying to live my life. Okay, there we go. Still has the ball from across from, I think it was Ben Johnson. Buonanotte trying to flick it onto Evan Ferguson. He has taken a lot more of a central role. Buonanotte tries to take it down. Good tackle from Saïd Benrahma. I mean, he basically walked into him, but we take it. Evan Ferguson has taken a lot more of a central role. I think that's very clear. There doesn't seem to be that right hand side in the same way that there was previously. Them consistently going down that left hand side just doesn't seem to exist. We take. I don't know. It's scaring me more. It's scaring me more. I'm seeing Mubama on Benrahma off, which is good. I'm very happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. That's exactly what I would have done. Well, this just refuses. Come on, please. For Christ's sake. Oh, yes, I know. There we go. Absolute nightmare. So one of their players is down. I don't know who it is or what happened, but one of their players is down. Not something Brighton would want. And personally, I never like to see an opposition player injured, regardless. He looks, it's Webster. It's going to make their defense even weaker if Webster goes off, because it means they'll literally have one recognised centre-back in Van Heck. Because I don't remember who's on their bench, but we'll see. They're going to bring in the changes here, Brighton. As I, once again, struggling to see. Noise is going to be the death of me. I don't know if you can hear it through my headphones. I suspect you might be able to. It's driving me up the wall. Okay, here we go. Here's their changes. Webster has come off. Who's that? So Webster and Buonanotte have come off, and Moda and Lallana have come on. So Moda has come on, and Lallana for Buonanotte. Lallana. Here we go. Christopher with the £2. Thank you very much. Shows how fragile we are without Paquetá and Kudus. Yeah, I strongly agree with you, Christopher, to be fair. I strongly agree with you. Also, we should... I don't think I've got all the names in the top corner, do I? I was distracted by Gonzo earlier on. I didn't... Yeah, I didn't. Right, okay. What have we got? We've got Dave. Acid D. Got Draconian. Still here, bro. Trying to charge down that right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen, Obama getting in there. It's just exciting to see him. Christopher. So Jarrod Bowen has taken up that right wing position. There you go. All the names in the top. Thank you very much to Draconian, to Christopher, and to Dave, whose names are in there alongside now. Nicholas, Paul, and GP. Thank you very much. Massively appreciate it. But yeah, we seem to have... It's what I wanted seems to have exactly happened. Mubama has taken up that role up front. I swear to God, I'm actually losing my mind about this stream. Mubama has taken up that central role with Jarrod Bowen moving across to that right-hand side. And Pablo Fornals on the left. Which, good, if we're being honest about it. Good. It was very needed. Come on. It's never gone well for us. It's never gone well for us, Ionix. Ben Johnson. Crossing wasn't bad, but it was just no one there. Tom with the £2 super sticker. Thank you very much, Tom. It's very, very kind of you, sir. Very, very kind of you indeed. Helps out the channel massively, not just myself. Helps out Gio and Gonzo as well. And Ham's chat as a whole, the other people as well, who aren't necessarily on camera all of the time. People who design merch, stuff, and loads of other things. It helps us out just a huge amount. So thank you very much, Tom. I'll lob your name in there now while I remember. Hopefully it doesn't break the thing. So, split it up. I think it might be okay. We'll have a look. But thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Oh, milk chocolate Brazil nuts. Ross Mack is running wild. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Playing it through. João Pedro. Under pressure from a lot of people. Played out. It's not a bad ball in. Pascal Gross again getting his head on it. And it's gone significantly wide. Thank Christ for that. But it was close. João Pedro under a lot of pressure inside the box. Ends up playing it back out to the left midfield position in that corner quadrant. Who just crosses it in. And Pascal Gross once again just getting his head onto it. Trying to play it back across the box. Maybe trying to be a bit too cute there. And it goes just wide. But frankly, we'll take that. Frankly, we will take that. It's very kind of you to say, Nicholas. Many people would disagree, but it's very kind of you to take. We'll take that. Estupinian looking to try and build up down that left-hand side again. I think formationally is the exact same. There's no difference to what we were formation wise. Obviously, the personnel are different, and so the way we're going to move is different. But it's a 4-2-3-1 with Mubama in that central striker slot. Jared Bowen moving across to the right and Fornals on the left into his more natural position. Trying to drift inside. James Milner finds Lallana, who's trying to cut one way and then the other. Back out to James Milner again, who's dink in. Doesn't really go super well, but Hinshelwood on the edge of the box lays it short. Tomoda plays it in straight into the hands of Areola. Thank you very much. Off Adam Lallana, who plays it quickly to Jared Bowen. Gone, Jared. Awful first touch, but we'll take throwing, I guess. But an awful first touch. Like I say, I think formation is exactly what it was. It's still a 4-2-3-1. We're not changing the formation here, but it's changing the people, the personnel on it in the hopes of difference, right? So bringing on an actual striker in the central role, allowing Jared Bowen to be into his more natural right wing position means that you're going to get more penetration and more activity on that right hand side, which just, as we've all said, just wasn't exactly existing before. You get a striker who can sort of move people around and be lethal in the box, hopefully, or at least if we get chances, can be more dangerous than say Jared Bowen would be, or create different types of chances, and then you move Fornals over to the right, to the left hand side, which is his much more natural position than on the right. If any of that works out, we'll see. Doesn't feel like it so far, but it's not. But again, I mean, if I'm being honest, this feels a lot like two teams who have been injury hit. This feels like two teams who can't play their starting 11s. Brighton are certainly feeling more dangerous right now. It's not a bad play forward, and Jared Bowen is having a bad. I'll be honest with you, Jared Bowen's not had a good game. Realistically, obviously, it's not been a great game for him in general to thrive in, but he's not had a good game, and that was a great example. The ball plays it to him there, and he tries to play it back to Mubama. It's awful, and you just see him incredibly frustrated with himself, just reacting to it. Mubama chases down Van Heck there. Good energy from him, good movement. Doesn't work out in that sense, but it's the sort of stuff you want him to be doing. Flick over the top, looking for Adam Lallana, pulls it back across, little back flip, look, a back heel flip, and it's hooked away from Angelo Ogbonna. Brighton maintain possession of the ball just outside the area. Good work from Angelo Ogbonna there. Ward-Prowse did well there to stop that one. Another opportunity for Brighton. Hinshelwood. About to lose my mind again, I apologize. Moda playing it out wide. Pascal Gross, that's not a bad ball in, and the header, thankfully, is from Evan Ferguson, is nothing to write home about. Very wide, nowhere near the direction of the goal. Was running backwards. There was no real danger to that anyway, regardless, but Ogbonna doing really well there, getting the blocks. Really, really well. Ross, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Welcome. Noise. I mean, yeah, but that's why, right? Because we don't have the ball. So we need someone to drop deep in order to try and do it, you know? It's not ideal, but you know, he's not going to he either drops deep, gets involved in tackling, gets involved in the build up, and then we can actually try and build up with some quick short passing, or he's isolated up the top and then we end up just trying to hoof it at him non-stop whenever we get the ball, just big hoof towards him. Like, and don't get me wrong, we're probably going to have a lot of opportunities where we're just clearing it anyway, so there would at least be someone in that area, but I would rather he drop deep and then we try to link up play a little bit better and try and get the ball out of our area with some consistency and with some competence to be able to build from there, especially when we have other people on the pitch, as opposed to just hoofing it. You know what I mean? I agree. It's not ideal, but nothing's ideal in that situation. You have to pick your poison. Crossed in, thankfully, into that no man's land, into that dangerous corridor from João Pedro, but no one's even there to take advantage of it. Thank goodness. Ball gets played out wide to Pascal Gross, and don't know who it was. I think it was. Oh no, it was Moda who played the ball across, and Pascal Gross was there. He was going to be offside regardless, but yeah. FBP, good to see you. I'll be honest with you, not much. Not much. You hate to see it. Ben Johnson's down, which is not good. Hopefully he can stay on. If not, I mean, if Ben Johnson doesn't stay on, Casey would probably come on. I mean, the most obvious sub in that sense, if Johnson can't stay on, would be Mavropanos moves to right back, and then Casey takes up centre back alongside Ogbonna, which is a terrifying prospect to have a youth player and Angelo Ogbonna as centre back. That's the obvious one. I would suspect, yeah, Aaron Cresswell's warming up. I would suspect Cresswell would be a tempting option for David Moyes, because then you put Mavropanos at right centre, you put Mavropanos at right back, and you bring Aaron Cresswell in at left centre back, because he's obviously played centre back before. Wouldn't be ideal, but you could see sort of the logic. You could change formation potentially. Don't know who you'd bring on in that sense, but you could change formation. You could maybe go to a 3 at the back. Alvarez drops deep into that back 3, and then you'd have to bring on probably again Aaron Cresswell at left centre back, or yeah, Aaron Cresswell probably at left centre back, or Casey at right centre back. There's a lot of there's options, and none of them ideal. None of them ideal, but then again, Johnson's our only recognised right back we have at the club right now, so you know, it is what it is. Brighton take the throw in quickly. Punted across. Pascal Gross is there. Moda, thank Christ, fluffs his lines. He was under a lot of pressure. David, calm down. David, I don't know what's giving you this suggestion. Like, if there's people in chat trolling you, then there's people in chat trolling you. But just, like, ignore them. The people in chat are people in chat, you know? It's fine. It's fine, Maggie. It's fine. I appreciate you coming regardless if you do leave. I appreciate you coming. I genuinely do. It's all right, man. It's all right. Ben Johnson's come back on. I mean, Ariel a long kick ends up straight at Brighton as per usual. Ariel's long kicking, I'll be honest with you, is I know I keep saying it, but it's crap. GP, thank you very much for the £2. God doesn't exist in Jesus milk. Maybe. What did someone call me in the? What did someone call me in the comments the other day? I think it was earlier yesterday. It was earlier today or yesterday. Cheese toasty Jesus, I think is what it was. I enjoyed it. You know. He said, cut your hair, cheese toasty Jesus. I said, I like the put down, but no. So, you know, I can confirm. Cheese toasty Jesus, at least. West Ham man. Big Sue check winner. Oxby, I hope so. We've done it. We've been scoring late winners this for a while as well. Not just this season, for a while. Ball over the top. Moda can't quite get the control down. That's going to be a goal kick. Thank you very much. Mac and Jesus. Unkind Ravens. That's solid work. That's very solid work. I love that. Thank you, Ben. I'll be taking that. Seems like Cresswell's going to be the one to come on. I mean, I guess it will be exactly what I say. Mavropanos. I mean, he could just put Cresswell at right back. That is also an option that he could insanely go for. But my guess would be you take Ben Johnson. You take Ben Johnson off, and needs to shift across, and you put Cresswell there. Would be my assumption. That was a really bad way of explaining it. I appreciate it. Good interception from Edson Alvarez. Plays himself into trouble stupidly, but Ogbonna gets him out of trouble. We tried to play it out there, and that wasn't bad necessarily, but the pass from James Ward-Prowse at the end goes wayward, and Brighton come away with it. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure what he was aiming for. Brian May, of course, another one that I've legendarily been called. I don't know what the cheese toasty bit was for, if we're being honest, but thank you, M. Collingwood. Thank you. The Christmas period has passed, and now all bets are off, apparently. All into Lallana. Does well to create an opportunity to sheet, and his strong hand from Areola stops it. Does really well there. Adam Lallana, that's the sort of things that Adam Lallana's always been good at. Just that close control, just turns really nicely and hits it early. Nicely done from Adam Lallana. And thankfully, Areola reads it well and then matches it with a strong hand and then gets up quickly to jump on top of it before anything else can happen. Good work. Again, the long kick doesn't go well. Can we just stop with the long kicks when we have Areola? Like, I don't care. I don't care how good they are at pressing us. I could not give less of a crap. Do not take long kicks with Areola. They're never good. They never work. They're always bad. Brighton win the ball straight off the back. Just please. Please. The thing is, right, I'm going to... this is not to dig you out, Dave, specifically. I should say this. It's just as a general statement. Okay, Dave, for example, saying, Moyes settling for a draw against a team with far more players missing than us will make out like we'll have done well to get a point. David Moyes would play the exact same way regardless. He's not trying to get a draw. David Moyes is trying to get a win. He's just doing it in his way. It's got nothing to do with 5 minutes of added time. Jesus Christ, it's going to be a long 5 minutes, I feel like. Like you can have a pop at Moyes, that's fair enough. I ain't got a problem with that. I might disagree, but I don't have a problem with it. Go hog wild. But he's not settling for a draw. He's doing the exact same thing he always does. There's no difference. There's literally no difference. The only difference is we don't have our best players. Our two best players are missing, so, you know. But it's not settling for a draw. It's just not successfully getting the win. You know. He doesn't know. He always plays to win, Real Simpsons. He just does it in a way that we disagree with. This is it's just is what it is. Good work, Maverick Palace. Very good work. Like, here's the thing, right? When I play Football Manager, FIFA, what doesn't matter what game it is, right? When I'm in control of football, I'm never playing the way David Moyes is playing. You know, that's not my vibe. But David Moyes is not settling. He's not going for a draw, because that would suggest that what he's doing now is different to what he did 95 minutes ago, and that would suggest what he's doing now is different to what he did against Arsenal, against Manchester United, against all these other teams that we did against Liverpool. It's the same thing. It's just it's not worked today. You know, well, half of it's worked. The defensive side of it's worked. The attacking side hasn't. Again, there's so much to criticize about it. Go wild, go hog wild with the criticisms. You know. That's fine by me. Ain't got a problem with that. It's just not play. It's not playing for a draw. It's not successfully getting a win. Good work, Angelo Ogbonna stops that one. Wins free kick. Take that. Good work, Ogbonna. He's had another good game today, Ogbonna. I tell you what, after he had that god-awful performance, he's put in two very good performances. The last Arsenal was imperious. Today's been another good performance. Not on the Arsenal level, but a good performance from him, which is nice to see, considering, I'll be honest with you, I was convinced that playing Ogbonna would be like just conceding 2 goals from the get-go. Do you know what I mean? Areola takes it short into the path of Emerson. A silly clipped in ball, just kind of pointless, really pointless. Yeah, we're massively missing our playmakers today. Moist teams, right, they play out wide and go inwards, right? And what are those 2 points? Paquetá, Kudus, and we're missing both of those, so it's just like it's just nothing there. But that's not surprising. We've been out of form all season. Well, we've been out of form for 2 months. It's not entirely surprising that you take the 2 best, most effective, most informed players out of that, and it's just sort of lost it. Also, not surprising that you look Jared Bowen how frustrated he is today, because he's basically having to do it all himself, and he just can't. You know. Because frankly, he's just not that sort of guy. 90 seconds, well, 100 seconds to go. 100 seconds to go. And the Sky Sports game selector, whoever that person is probably absolutely hating his life right now. Getting some very angry texts from his boss, being like, what the hell did you pick this game for? Bibama finds Fornals back to Albona, trying to play our way out of trouble. It's not a bad ping from Emerson. It deflects off the back of Jarrah Bowen, who falls down. He's furious he didn't get a free kick there. He's screaming at the referee. He's now literally following the referee. He's going to go into his position there. He was fuming. It wasn't a bad ball. It was a nice idea from Emerson, but it just didn't quite work out. I will remind you that Gonzo will be live in just a few moments' time, straight after this game, with a live match review. I'll spam that link in the chat in a moment. Fair. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. The thing is, right, Ian, I'll say this: I don't get into the Moyes in out stuff, especially in the watch along. I just think it's a pointless endeavor to get into it here because you just can't have a proper conversation about it because you're watching a match at the same time as everything else is happening and flowing, and it's quite difficult to do, right? So I never bother getting into the conversation, right? I'll say this: first of all, Sean, chill out with the language. I don't mind you saying stuff, but just chill out specifically with the language, okay? Here's the thing: I understand I disagree. I'm not Moyes out, if you want to word it like that. I hate the phrasing of it. I think it's incredibly. I think the entire thing's built to be combative, but it is what it is, whatever. But I fully understand why people. I fully understand where people are at when they say it. I understand the vibes, you know. Even though I personally am not in it, I understand the vibes, you know. There is the full-time whistle. Full-time whistle, and it ends 0-0. And I would like to wish Gonzo a good luck on trying to break that game down. make a compelling review of it. You can help by going on over to the link I'm about to spam in the live chat, which is where it will be live in just a few moments' time. It does end West Ham United 0, Brighton 0. A game which, let's be honest, screamed of two teams plagued with injuries. Absolutely plagued with injuries. It was not a good game at all to watch. Not a fun match to watch. Not a fun match to sit and do a watch along with. Thankfully, I have you lot to help me out with that, because otherwise it would have just been one of the more boring experiences of my life. But the review doesn't have to be. Go on over, help Gonzo with that. Get involved in the live chat. Make your opinions heard. It did link below. Go and head over there. Thank you very much for all joining us. I'll say one last time, thank you to GP, to Paul, to Nicholas, to Acid D, Dave, to Draconian, to Christopher, to Tom, and then finally to GP once more. Massively appreciated for the super chats. It helps us out a huge amount on this channel. Really does. Not just me. It helps out Gio and Gonzo as well. 0-0. It ends from the last fixture of the weekend. Sky Sports, I'd like to apologise on behalf of West Ham for the crapness, but head on over to the review. Don't listen to them lot talk about it. Listen to it from a West Ham fan point of view. Speak to you later, everyone. Enjoy the live review. I'll once again spam it just in case you haven't seen it. Get on over there. Get involved. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later. Cheers, everyone. Bye.